The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Virtuosos. It is your host, Demise Skywalker, and I'm here with...
Mercedes.
And Damien.
All right, so first of all, I just want to go ahead and throw this out here. You know, at least Mercedes going to show up. You know, it's somebody that used to be on here that showed up every week, but, you know, he's too good for us now, so, you know, it's cool, though. But welcome back to Virtuosos. I want to say, first of all, you guys have been showing crazy love on social media. We appreciate that, spreading our messages, spreading our videos out there. We appreciate that. You know, we're growing here day by day, and, you know, we just want to be the best podcast for you guys, and we're going to continue to get better. So we appreciate the love. So we're going to go ahead and start off with some Marvel. You know, kind of feel like that's all we talk about nowadays. But, you know, Marvel on a resurgence right now. You know, we're trying to resurge with, you know. So we're going to talk about the What If trailer. It dropped yesterday, I believe. Yep, it dropped yesterday. I'll just go ahead and share what I think about it. I believe it's dropping every day for the next 9 until
December 22nd to December 31st.
Okay, yeah. So which is actually low key a fire idea, given like how, you know, fun the What If episodes could be. I think last time I came in with the expectation that, you know, they said, oh, it's gonna connect to the MCU, and then I'm watching, I'm like, bro, this shit did not connect to the MCU, like, or not that I've seen of until like the very last episode. So I think coming in here with a different mentality, I think it's gonna definitely be fun. Do any of y'all have any thoughts on it? Do y'all think?
I'm pretty excited for a few of the episodes. I think it's gonna be one of the best things, like, so far that they're putting out. My favorite episode that I'm looking forward to, though, is the part where it's Captain America's fighting Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, if you remember, he doesn't fight Thanos. Thor does. Because Captain America never gets close to him.
He gets knocked out.
Yeah.
He gets packed up.
He has all 6 stones in the movie and in that trailer. And I wonder if that's the reason why Strange Supreme will maybe intervene. Because if you look, when he's fighting him, he kind of slashes the green time stone on his gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dame, you got any thoughts on What If?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a big fan of them. I still think it's a little tame. Like, when I think What If, I think of more drastic events than what we're getting.
Throwing characters out there.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, a party pooper or anything like that. I'm excited for it. I liked What If Season 1, but it's just when I think of, like, the What If scenarios and what they could be, I'm not getting what I think they could be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at these episode names. What if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? Okay, I guess. Peter Quill attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That sounds to me like probably one of the more interesting ones.
Yeah.
Basically, what if Peter got with his dad instead of, you know, hating his dad or whatever, ego. That's an interesting one. But then, like, some of these other ones, like, just don't really do it for me. There was, I don't know who Kaori is. What if she reshaped the world? She seemed like a pretty big thing in the trailer, though. She had a lot of screen time. Hela finding the 10 rings is cool. Hela was a good character in the movies. If Iron Man crashed into the Grand Master, can't say I care too much about that. Happy Hogan saving Christmas. Okay. Probably the one that that makes the most sense to me, or that I would actually look forward to, is Strange Supreme. Obviously, in the draft, I took him first overall. In the Marvel character draft, I think Strange Supreme is one of the better characters that Marvel's done. So that's, to me, the one that sounds the best. I just want to see more crazy events.
Yeah.
I think so, more than anything.
I think it's definitely more of just, you know, bringing characters back that we missed.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not really going to put too much stock into it. I'm just going to go in with a different mindset this time and just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really all you can do, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, when I think, like, so, you know, me, you, and, you know, Rich, we have obviously talked about Star Wars doing, like, a what-if type of style, you know, where it's like, what if, they, you know, they could do some crazy stuff.
They can go at least 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, and, like, that's just kind of what I want to see from Marvel, is just more insane ideas, you know what I'm saying, other than just kind of, you're just throwing random stuff, like, if the Avengers assembled in 1602. Like, what? Like, come on. I mean, like, cool, I guess, if you want to see the Avengers in a different time period, but what is that doing for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so, you know, we're excited for What If. We're just not going to put too much stock into it.
Like, I just don't know how they top the episodes they had in the first season. Realistically, I think that's what kills it for me because I thought the first season at least had the creative ideas: Marvel Zombies, Infinite Ultron. You know what I'm saying? And then even like the finale where they tie everything all together. You know, like it's hard to top something like that, especially when Infinite Ultron was like a scary, like an actual like foreboding character. You know what I'm saying? He could see the Watcher. He saw through the multiverse and was able to go
Ultron's
through
on
that.
his shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
hold on, like,
yeah, like Infinite Ultron is literally one of the craziest characters they ever made. Like, so the fact that like they're gonna try to top that now is kind of like, damn. You say you used your best already.
yeah. I feel like by the end of it, hopefully it's good. But by the end of it, if it's not, I'm gonna be like, you know what, they should just kept it one season.
But I will say that the trailer was crazy. Like, I mean, they definitely do a good job, especially with like the Doctor Strange stuff. You know, at the end, the Watcher gives you the whole, I don't know if I could bear to narrate what's gonna happen next. Obviously, makes you think something bad's gonna happen. That could just be trailer manipulation, how Marvel has known to do. You know, get you hyped up for something that's probably not even gonna be in there. But we'll see. You know, I mean, but I think I agree with you. Just enjoy it for what it is. Don't put too much stock into it. It's cool they have Christmas episodes at least. You know, it's right around Christmas time anyways. So I mean, it could be a fun time.
I can't even trust trailers no matter what Invincible did, man.
Exactly, bro.
The whole trailer was in the first
For
episode and a
saying,
half.
like,
I'm like, yo, like it's over. Like
the trailer
everything else I
manipulation
don't
is
know, but
crazy, man.
It's cool though, man. It's cool. I do got a prediction. I do think that this is gonna set up something with Doctor Strange in the future.
Yeah, well, I say like I mean, especially with now that they're actually mentioning the multiverse and all that.
I definitely think
Like
it's gonna
I
set
could
something
see it. Like the first season being canon made no sense because the multiverse really wasn't even a thing yet when that came out. But now if they do it, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? We've already seen dark versions of Doctor Strange, obviously Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
So that could be something where if they're actually going to tie in something, I could see it happening there. Or even kind of being like an alternate dimension where this Strange, like I said, it seems to me like Strange is going to intervene. What is he going to intervene in? It has to be to do with Thanos. Stopping him from doing that. But then how does that change the MCU as a whole if that never happens? You know what I'm saying?
So we'll definitely see. Speaking of Marvel, we have Reed Richard news. You know what I'm saying? Rumors. We're not coming out here breaking the news.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Don't take anything.
That Pedro Pascal will be playing Reed Richard. Now, Pedro is a great actor. You know, he's doing his thing. You know, he's a little bit on the older side. You know, I don't think he present that look to be Reed Richard. But then again, you know, some people can get it done. So, Dane, we'll start with you.
What site was that?
Is
It was not a good site.
that was
right?
Deadline.
Yeah, Deadline's terrible. Like,
Yeah,
right?
Deadline.
It's not
The
a good
only reason I'm taking stock in it is because the guy that leaked it on Twitter is always right about his leaks. Typically, it's like Daniel RPK, I think his name is. He's a very consistent leaker, but like I said, grain of salt with everything right now. Until Marvel genuinely comes out and says, "Hey, listen, here's Pedro Pascal. He's your Reed Richards." You have to take everything with a grain of salt. I don't think it's gonna work for him, regardless. I think between all the projects he's already signed up for, Mandalorian season 4 is about to start filming. He's already with The Last of Us for season 2. Unless he gets killed off, how he does in the games very quickly. You got Gladiator 2 that he's going to be in. He's a busy man. I mean, it's going to be hard to find time to actually film with him. And then on top of that, how Damon said, we talked about it right before we started filming, the age thing is tough. He's 47, 48 years old right now. By the time this movie films or comes out, he'll be 50. You're going to be signing a big contract with Marvel at this point in time. Reed Richards is a very important character. He'll be important past the multiverse saga.
Yep.
Do you want to see a 60-year-old Reed Richards in the MCU? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
you know, when we get down the line and we're in the 2030s and all of a sudden there's another Marvel movie coming out and it's Reed Richards in it and he's 60. You know what I'm saying? For Pedro Pascal is a talented actor and he deserves everything he's getting right now. But it just kind of feels like if it is true, just a safe casting for Marvel.
Yep. Just
Like, you know,
the
like,
name.
that's a name. People love him. Let's just get him out there and he's going to be our Reed Richards. I just think it's kind of corny for Marvel to do that.
Yep, definitely. By the way, he did mention Last of Us. We probably will talk about it on the episode. If Pedro Pascal get killed off, I'm calling his agent. I'm like, yo, spin that shit back, bro. You're not doing that. You're not killing off Pedro Pascal. A season and a half.
They're gonna. I talked
it.
about this a little bit with Mercedes. They're gonna kill him off. If they don't, they're gonna either kill him off by the end of season 2, or they're gonna wait till season 3.
Yeah, they got to.
They're gonna do that. I think that season 2 for The Last of Us, just to go off on a quick tangent, is gonna be mostly the flashbacks you get in the game of showing what happens with Ellie and Joel between the present and the end of the first one. And then by the end of it, I could see that being a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they even showed. They started showing up. They like Abby start like slowly.
Yeah,
rising up into
we see. Like I said, I think it'll be both because they've already. So there was a recent rumor that Abby had been casted. Craig Mazin came out and said it months ago that Abby had already been casted.
Yeah.
But now they're getting names connected to. I think her name's Caitlin Dever. She's supposed to be the one that's gonna play Abby now, which is cool. And like I said, I see season 2 where they kind of show you the characters' backgrounds, how they do in The Last of Us Part 2, show the flashbacks. By the end of season 2, we'd either get showing Abby and them arriving in Jackson on the outskirts, or just actually showing them kill Joel. And then that'd be the cliffhanger, and then we wait for season 3. Joel's not escaping his fate. As much as it would please fans to see Joel stay alive, it's too big of a storyline for the game.
Yep, for it to happen.
For him to stay alive.
I should never did in the game.
Yeah.
Man, put yourself in this hole.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool
Hurts.
though. You played the game?
Yes.
No, it's me and Mercedes played all the Last of Us games
All of it.
together. Like, we found out about it at the same
I
time.
love it. That's my favorite game.
Yeah, it's our favorite.
You like Last of Us 2? The
Yeah.
game, the story.
Yeah, Damon and his friends don't like the story.
They don't like the story.
I
yet.
don't.
I respect it though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not in the minority. You're in the majority. I mean, most people
Most
don't
people,
like the
yeah.
story. I mean,
A
I
lot of
respect
people
it.
don't.
I
like
can't
it.
wait till we do a Last of Us episode, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna go in on that. But I think this. Hold on, let me make sure I don't say this wrong. The Madam
Madam Web.
Madam Web.
Mhm.
Okay, so that trailer dropped. Now, I'm not too familiar with it. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
So-
People talking about Spider-Man. I'm like, there's not gonna be Spider-Man. Lower your expectations.
No, I do think it's gonna be Spider-Man.
Oh.
Madam Web was in the Spider-Man series back in the '90s. She
Okay,
has
okay.
connection to the web of life, so she basically can see all the Spider-Man.
Okay.
So it is a Spider-Man.
Okay, but
Story.
like I won't like I feel like in my opinion people gonna expect too much.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
People are gonna be
Yeah.
people, and then people are gonna be mad if they don't get Spider-Man. But
Mhm.
I could see this where this is a Sony project. They're gonna either show Andrew Garfield at the end. They're gonna show you something to get you excited. This movie can't just be. I don't want to sound. It's gonna sound bad. This movie can't be good on its own.
Mhm.
It's already gotten. It's already been killed by people in the comments.
Yeah, I've been
and in
seeing the
in
comments been
things.
dogging
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
CW pilot. It looks
Mhm.
like The Flash season 6
Yeah,
or season
yeah.
7 when
I've
they started to
seen
get
some-
bad.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Seen
saying?
some
Like,
crazy
people have been
stuff.
killing it. No, not a lot of people have liked it. I personally liked the trailer. I thought it looked fun. I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to sit here and lie, bro. Sydney Sweeney. You had me. Sydney Sweeney's in it. I'm watching it. I'll be seated in the theater.
Yeah, I don't really know like.
But basically, Madam Web she's a clairvoyant, so she can see into the future.
So the
So-
one dude that was chasing them. he could see
Ezekiel
the future
Sims.
too?
So he can see in the future. He's like I don't want to say he's the evil Spider-Man because I don't want nobody in the comments to come for me. I don't know the story that well. I've been watching TikToks and YouTube videos trying to research to figure out who was who. But basically, it seems like he's trying to stop something.
Oh
And the 3 girls that you see are all Spider Women. So Sydney Sweeney, there's the other girl, and then there's like the Spanish looking one. And they're all 3 different versions of Spider Woman. Like Sydney Sweeney is like a more of a spy type.
Yeah.
The most powerful one is the Spanish girl. I guess she's like the most powerful Spider Woman that they have. I know a lot of people are mad because I guess the storyline is like spider totems or something like that. I don't know the whole thing. Like I'm trying to do my research on it as I go. I know a lot of people aren't happy with it as far as because like this storyline I guess didn't make a lot of people happy.
yeah. Okay.
What I want them to do is like what I'm hoping for is it's like a Terminator kind of storyline where like maybe this Ezekiel Sims guy is trying to stop Peter Parker from being born. Like, because that was like a part of like the original leaks was like, oh, this character was playing Peter's mom, this character was playing Peter's dad. They're trying to stop Peter Parker from ever being born so he doesn't become Spider-Man.
Oh okay.
And
Is
like,
she a mutant?
who?
Madam Web.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if she'd be considered a mutant
I
or
think
not.
in the comics she was.
That's actually a great question because I only really know of her from the cartoon, obviously back in the day. But
Because I'm pretty sure she was considered a mutant, which is weird. I mean, they may not lean into the fact that she's a mutant, but it's weird because now we're finally getting some characters that I think are technically mutants.
yeah,
That we're hopefully going to start saying, oh, we've got these mutants that have been running around for a couple of years now, and we just we couldn't mention them for
and this is still something
contractual
like,
reasons.
and this is something that still could have with like Marvel and Sony still have their deal. So I mean, same way they used Venom in Spider-Man No Way Home, these could always connect later on down the line as long as Sony and Marvel are in cahoots. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anything's realistically possible. But the trailer looked all right. Like I mean, there were really some like goofy moments where I'm like, damn, really? Like it's kind of just
Yeah,
whatever.
it was
you
like
know?
a 3-minute. I ain't gonna lie, the trailer, in my opinion, was kind of I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I just feel like there was just like they just. I know the movie doesn't come out until February, but I just feel like when you put out a trailer like that for something that not many people know about,
Yeah,
you
you
kind of
gotta
have to show
hit.
your hands. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
gotta.
I don't feel like they showed their hand very much. Like showing you got to show the women in their spider suits.
Sony has a bad
With
record with their
trailers.
trailers. They
Yeah,
don't.
that is true.
Whoever they hire to make their trailers, like they never have a good meeting.
Because like the
Like,
soundtrack's cool.
their
like, it
meeting
goes
always
with it.
sucks because they just like put like the stuff they screwed up with Spider-Man,
Mhm.
like what that was in the trailer, like clearly like
Yeah,
Like
they're
there were going to be other Spider-Man. Like you knew, like
You
we
gotta-
kind of knew anyway. But like
you got to do a better job at hiding.
don't
you know?
use that shot.
But but it's like so it's like the opposite for this one. So like for that one, obviously you don't want to show your best stuff, but for this, not many people know who Madam Web is or
right.
about these characters. You got to show a little bit more, if anything. You know,
Yeah, you got-
show
you
us
got-
the girls in the spider suits. Show us like their powers. Like show them doing something. Because you don't really
They-
see that in this one.
They showed a whole scene of them talking in like a woods or like
Yeah.
near some trees. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
who
That's
care
what I'm
about the
saying,
whole
like-
conversation like in a trailer?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like you got to show us a little bit more. Like the coolest part of the trailer to me was the evil Spider-Man. Like I said, you see like him jump onto the ceiling and he's on the ceiling fighting her
Yeah.
and he kills Madam Web, I guess, but not kill her. You know what I'm saying? Because she clearly goes back. But like I said, it's an interesting concept. It'll be cool to see. Sony doesn't have the best track record with their own movies. Their best stuff, other than Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been their best thing as far as their own Spider-Man movies. Even though Amazing Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite live-action one, is still not very good as far as track records go with their movies. So, could be fun, could be a waste of time, but I mean, the fact this is actually kind of coming out before Kraven the Hunter is funny too, because Kraven the Hunter was supposed to come out already.
Yeah.
They got pushed back, obviously, with all the delays. Now, I don't even know when Kraven the Hunter is supposed to come out now. So now this being the first one is kind of just we'll see.
Yeah. I guess everybody's Spider-Man. Mercedes, you got you got a confession to make. You know, can you climb
Yeah.
walls?
She literally is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
I am.
Spooder man.
When she don't, when she,
Spooderman, yeah.
Spooderman, my fault.
I got picture evidence.
My fault, yeah. So one more thing on a weekly recap before we get into our next one. A little bit of NFL talk. You know, all right. Now I love me. Some New England Patriots. Unfortunately, we ass. So, how much ass can I talk about? You know what I'm saying? We lose every week, but it's cool though. Cause you wanna know when our last time we won was against the Bills, right? I don't know how many wins the Bills got. Hold on. Let me think. When the last time the Bills won?
Not enough.
When is the
Lost
last
to the
time
Bucs?
it?
I'm thinking, because they had 4 wins, and then we beat
They
them,
lost
and then
2
they
in a
beat
row,
one more time.
right?
Oh, they lost 2 in a row?
They lost 2 in a row.
I'm trying to
They
think of the last time
they
we
lost
beat.
their last 2 for sure.
Yeah, that's
trying
2
to
in a
think-
row that they lost.
What's the
When
last
was
time
their
they beat?
win?
I don't know. Shit. But it ain't going to be. I don't know how many more teams they're going to beat. They got a crazy next 4 games. I think they got the Eagles, Chiefs, Dolphins, and,
Dolphins are at the very end of the season.
If the Bills have a negative record by that time, I got the Dolphins winning. So you got to think the Bills might be in the lottery with us, man.
Well, the Bills' next 5 games compared to the Dolphins' next 5 games are like actually insane. Like the Bills could be out of playoff contention. Like,
They already had a
pretty easily.
playoff. They already got.
Like the Dolphins are 6-3
already
now.
got-
We got the Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Jets, Titans.
Yeah. The Bills is already out though, but they're like 10th seed.
Well, and it's so funny to me too. Like I know since we're talking about the AFC East, so Aaron Rodgers was talking all this shit like right before the Jets lost, obviously this past weekend. Oh, my surgery went great. My recovery went great. I'll be back mid-December.
Mm-hmm.
Jets lose. It depends on where the team's at that time.
What
I didn't really
happened, bro?
say
What
that.
happened,
Like I
bro?
didn't mean it that way.
Like, come on,
Like you
bro.
backtracking all of a sudden. Like,
Come on,
They
man.
play you.
It's hilarious because the AFC, the Jets were going to win the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
The Bills and Miami would be like in the playoffs. Like there's all kinds, and like now it's like Miami will make the playoffs because they're going to win the division. And then, but no, Jets and the Bills aren't going to. They're not going to get.
Miami
I
making the
don't-
playoffs and getting a home game is my dream, man. Because our offense sucks on the road.
Yeah,
Holy
you might get
fuck.
that first game, but then I think
No, yeah,
you're-
no, we
yeah,
don't
you're
have to
not-
go to-
Obviously, you're not gonna like.
Yeah, we'd only be. I think we'll probably finish as like the 2 or 3 seed, so we'd
but
get
to be
one home
honest,
game.
like, who's good in the AFC right now?
I think it's wide. I had the Ravens as a sleeper pick,
Yeah, it's all right.
but
It's all right.
you got the
Probably last
Bengals. I'm about to say Lamar Jackson. I mean, they offense. I mean, yeah, they're blowing teams out, but Lamar got like 10 touchdowns. Like we
Yeah.
haven't seen
Yeah.
one game where like Lamar go win a game. Like so, you got the Bengals who just was on like a 3-4 game win streak, but they just lost. You got the Texans who I think are in the 4th seed now.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're
and then-
either winning that division or they're like just below the. Jags.
Yeah,
They
I
might
think
be the
they're
fifth seed.
4th because they beat the Bengals, and so now I think the Bengals dropped, and the Texans moved up to like the 4th, 5th seed or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're 5th. I think the Jags will lead their division.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville does. Yeah, Jacksonville's like 3rd seed. Ravens are 2nd, and Chiefs are 1st. Something crazy like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's Chiefs, Ravens, Dolphins, Jags, and then Texans, and then I forget who's in 6th. right now.
Texans, and then I think Steelers and Browns, something like that.
It's got to be one of the AFC North teams. I think it's the
Yeah.
Steelers. They're 6-3.
So yeah, I think in my opinion, the AFC is wide. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I think you got a high chance
Steelers
of
have
playing
the
the
fifth.
Chiefs.
Like if the playoffs started today, the Steelers and the Browns would technically be in.
Oh wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
They're
so the whole
5th and
AFC
the
North-
6th,
Yeah, man.
Besides
Browns.
the-
Ooh.
and then the Texans. So those are the 3 that would get the wild.
I would be
card.
mad as fuck if I had to play the Browns in the first round.
Bro, I mean, they did just lose Watson.
But
for
they don't
year,
have a
though.
quarterback.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
they
Their
just-
defense is
Yeah,
crazy.
their defense is crazy though.
I say, I'm not even gonna lie. Like their offense, like when your defense gets stops, like how theirs does, your offense could be sputtering. It don't matter, man. Like,
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, my quarterback hurt that week. You might as well rest him, bro.
No,
like
I
we're gonna win
swear.
10-7. Like that's the type of win we're gonna have to get.
I'm hoping, in all honesty, that Miami wins these next few games and stays where they're at, so that I don't even care about Week 18 against the Bills. Sit our starters.
Yeah,
If we're playing good enough, man.
Right, yo.
No, I swear to God, if we're good enough by that game, sit our starters. I don't give a fuck about Week 18. We're in the
Yeah,
playoffs. We got a
yeah.
home game. Sit our starters.
They gonna sit their starters too.
Yeah,
They going
at
for
that
that
point,
pick,
it's-
you know. So it's cool, you know. Mercedes got Eagles fan,
Yeah, she
right?
Eagles
Yeah,
fan.
she ain't gotta worry about. She ain't gotta worry. Yeah,
Her
yeah.
and Reno are like literally the luckiest people ever. Y'all got nothing to worry
I
about.
know.
None of them are
Word.
worst teams.
I'm kind of
sick.
nervous for the next game. We play the Chiefs.
Nah, I'm not worried about the Chiefs, bro. Y'all good.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous for that game.
Who they got to throw to, bro?
I just hope
Nobody.
they stay together and they can really push through.
Yeah, she don't
I
got to
really
deal
do.
with the AFC problems that we do.
Right,
You
the
know what I
NFC
mean?
wide
that we,
open,
the
like-
Patriots and Dolphins do.
Commander's
you know?
your
We
biggest
play
threat.
the
You beat them
Bills
twice.
after.
Oh, you Bill- oh, we ain't really scared. Maybe a few weeks ago. You know, we ain't really worried about them. no
It's
more.
but yeah, but you got the Bills in Philly.
49ers.
Niners. Yeah.
I know.
I mean-
Cowboys. Again, we beat them already.
Damn.
So-
Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all schedule kind of crazy too.
Yeah, let's go. Hold on.
Seahawks. Giants.
Oh, okay.
Cardinals. And then the Giants. But that's
You had a crazy way to end the season though. Like, the
Yeah,
next few
y'all
games are tough.
got y'all got
But
solid.
y'all
three.
could probably easy. What do they wait now? They 8-1 or 7-1.
8-1, some one of those.
They
But
just had their bye. So I
if
think
y'all
they're-
can
this
clinch
was their
number one
bye.
seed,
I think they're 8-1.
if y'all can clinch number one seed by the like them last 2 games, I think y'all should be solid.
yeah, we're 8-1.
Yeah, so I
We
mean,
lost to
shit.
the Jets.
Even if y'all split your next couple of games, y'all probably still gonna win 13 games.
Yeah, that's
It goes.
you might lose 13
Well,
games.
for
Dude.
NFC East,
Mac Jones, you see that report came out yesterday? Mac Jones lost the locker room.
Don't get me started on the Patriots quarterbacks,
Wait.
man.
Yeah, they said Mac Jones lost the locker room. The players is 80-20
Don't
on
get
them.
me started on that,
Getting
cause
crazy. Then who do you play? Like play Malik Cunningham. Like,
I literally woke up. I woke up at 10 in the morning. I woke up. It was like 3-zip. So I'm like, I'm not about to stay up and watch this. I'm about to get my sleep. I got work. So then I wake up. I see the 4th quarter drive. I'm like, okay, we got a chance. Mac Jones, let's go out there and win it. Going against the fucking Colts. We in the red zone. I see the worst throw ever. Fucking ever. Literally backed up, no pressure, threw it right to the Colts. I'm
No.
like, yo, are we wearing white jerseys now?
I'm
Like,
at work, bro. When I was watching that shit, I was like, that might be no lie one of the worst passes I've ever seen.
Yo,
I just think
it's
he was
crazy.
wide open.
it's crazy, right? I'm thinking, okay, that's the worst throw I've ever seen, right?
Oh, you talking
Bailey
about that?
Zapp coming in.
Oh,
I'm
come
like,
on.
oh
The
shit,
fake-
Bailey Zapp about to
They called
about
a
to turn
fake
up.
spike, bro.
So I'm like, okay, Bailey Zapp driving low key, you know. Then I see the second worst throw ever by Bailey Zapp in triple coverage. I'm like, yo, when did Megatron play for the Patriots? I'm like, I just seen the 2 worst throws ever in a span of 5 minutes. Like, that's insane. A triple, bro. We have 2 wins. Who the fuck on our team is capable of catching a ball in triple coverage? Who? I'm like, wow, triple coverage. And then he gonna say,
Nobody has any sympathy for you.
I'm like,
I
bro.
just want us to be clear, right? Like after the last 20 years, like nobody's got
Yeah.
any sympathy.
I swear to God.
You know what? I'm
we,
okay
we
with
don't
that.
care if your stadium
okay with
burns down. We just don't care. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
I'm okay with that.
We had to watch you on Super Bowl Sunday for like forever.
I'm cool with that.
right?
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Just,
You know what?
Just laugh it off, man. Laugh it off.
Yeah, because those 2 throws right there, I had me fucking. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna like leave them motherfuckers in Germany. Like, cancel their passport.
Yeah.
They need to stay there. They need to think about what they did.
It's pretty insane though that like your best player is like the build around a Ramondre Stevenson and Mario Douglas.
Bro, we had our 4 best playmakers, in my opinion, are all out for the season. So Demario Douglas should have been playing, but you know how Bill Belichick is. You know, I don't know, fucking losing his mind or some shit. Ramondre Stevenson just picked it up. Zeke's probably going, so probably not going.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Zeke.
Yeah, I
It's
ain't
only
worried
like a
about
year
Zeke.
deal.
But we got these 2 fucking tight ends.
Release Jack Jones.
Yeah, we released Jack Jones. He goes to you already a thug, so
You
let
went
me
to
go to
Las
the Raiders.
Vegas,
Like
like,
you're
what?
already a thug. Like I don't. All right, bro. So whatever. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get one of the quarterbacks. But yeah, I seen the 2 worst throws this weekend ever. That shit was fucking
And
pathetic.
this is like the best Dolphins bye week I probably ever had as a fan, man. Every single team that I needed or wanted to lose lost. Patriots, Jets, Bills, Jags, Ravens.
What is us winning? Okay,
AFC
we got our
East
3rd
don't
win of the
matter.
year.
Okay,
Like,
don't matter.
what
AFC
you-
East,
let's
bro.
go. Like,
I'm
that's
not
the
rooting for
way.
y'all to win, man.
Like, bro, we got a negative
Bengals
record. You
lost,
ain't got to worry about
everybody,
it. Bro.
everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
If the Steelers would have lost, bro, I'd have been dancing. Like, no lie.
He was dancing. I'm not gonna lie.
I
He
had
was already
people
dancing.
at my work telling me, "Oh, we needed y'all to lose." I'm like, "Bro, we have 2 wins.
We're in fourth
Like,
place.
We have
You're
2
rooting for the wrong
wins.
person.
Like, I wanted us to lose. Like, come on, bro." But
Nah, I need y'all to win. Like, I need y'all to finish with like 6 wins so y'all could get like a not good player in the draft.
no. Lose out. We don't have a quarterback. Niggas don't respect their quarterback. So you got that. But
I wouldn't either, bro.
it's cool though, man.
I think he should ask for a cut and go to the Browns. My fault.
Yo,
Jules, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Jules would be tight. All right, man. But that's gonna wrap up our NFL talk, our weekly recap. I promise you, I ain't gonna talk about the Patriots much longer, man.
There's actually one more thing I want to talk to. I know we're doing Star Wars, so because Jules mentioned it this morning, so I want to talk about it real quick. Napoleon comes out next week. I know you guys don't really know. I showed Mercedes the trailer earlier today. Really excited for this movie. I'll be going to see it on Thanksgiving most likely when it drops. Yeah, I don't care about my family.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But no, I'll probably definitely be in the theater that night for Napoleon, Joaquin Phoenix, Vanessa Kirby, rumored to play Sue Storm, by the way. This really fun, looks a really good movie. I'm a big history guy, so this is just another one, just like Oppenheimer, where I'm actually excited to go see it. And yeah, I just wanted to throw, Ridley Scott's going to be on it. I'm excited for next week. It's like the first movie I've wanted to see since like,
The Marvels?
Maybe.
Oh,
Nah.
my fault.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right, my fault.
No, Damon trying to set me up for failure.
My fault. The Flash? My fault.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started, son.
My fault.
Oh, and you see, what was it? DCU is moving quick now too. They cast another character in a Superman movie.
Yep, I
the
seen that.
engineer, and then they already found a writer for like Superwoman Brave and the Bold or whatever, Superwoman Woman of Tomorrow, I think it is.
Yeah.
So like, man, James Gunn's on shit.
Yeah, they gotta lock in, bro.
Yeah,
this
James-
take chance. This
James
take chance.
Gunn is on shit. So
This
I was
they
like,
chance,
DCU
man.
is moving quick as hell suddenly. I'm like, you're casting people left and right. You're finding writers.
This
So I
they
mean,
chance.
DCU could be on the rise, man. We'll see how what happens in the next year, but it's there's so much news. I was telling Damon and Jules last night, like it's trying to keep up with it all now. And not like those strikes ended.
Yeah.
It's like an influx of information, like trying to keep up with everything and trying to figure out what's relevant, what's real, what's fake. Like holy shit, man,
We was
there's been
doing
a
like 30,
lot.
45-minute segments on the NFL and NBA. But like
Right.
now we got so much shit to talk about with like TV
You got to try to find out
movies.
what's really more important, what you can and can't talk about. So, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it's a lot.
It's a lot of shit going on. But now that we're on the topic of superheroes and shit, the Marvels post. Hold on, let me say this. Spoilers, cause y'all motherfuckers be like you see spoilers on the screen. You sit there, you watch it, you hear it, and then say, "Why did you spoil the whole thing for me?" Like, calm your ass down. Like, so spoilers. All right. The Marvels post credit scene. Now, did any of y'all watch it?
I didn't see the Marvels yet, no, but I did see the post credit scenes.
Did he make you not watch it? Because I feel like he
her to not watch it.
You one of those,
No.
man.
Oh,
You
no,
literally,
no.
all right, bro. No, I'm not even gonna get you. I'm not even gonna get you, bro.
So I guess they're not fans of the Marvels like me.
I
didn't watch it either.
Damon's seen it 6 times already.
I didn't divided by yeah. But,
But-
yeah, I didn't watch it, but I seen the post credit scene. Again, spoilers. So I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I got it spoiled for me,
Start off
I
with the
didn't
lesser
know
one first.
the lesser. Okay,
Yeah.
which one do you think's the lesser one? Because I think
Come on,
Kate
bro.
Bishop. I think Kate Bishop one more important. Low key.
All right, bro.
I think Kate low key, Okay, we'll start off with the lesser one, I guess. All right. So when I first got it spoiled, I be on here clowning like, okay, Kate Bishop can't fucking save the world, right? And then I see her on there, I'm like, okay, clearly clowning. And then Jules in our group chat said that I like indirectly said it. I'm like, bro, there's no way Kate Bishop was in the damn post credit scene. Ends up being true. Kind of goes back to what I was saying though. I don't know if she should have been the first one recruited. You know what I'm saying? I get it, girl power, but I don't know about Kate Bishop being the first one recruited. You know
Well,
what I'm
no, I
saying?
mean, realistically though, like, who is she about to go get? You want her to go get Ant-Man's daughter?
But Nick Fury though. Like Nick Fury can't make a call or something.
Yeah, but
like,
this is
Captain Marvel.
they're clearly just trying to set up Young Avengers, bro. They're not trying to do anything else. This is just they're trying to set up Young Avengers.
I don't know, man. It really ain't no like. I'm trying to break down. I'm trying to think about the Young Avengers she could have recruited.
There's not they're none of them are really established yet. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
she didn't have many choices. Like it was either Cassie Lang or Kate Bishop. Like it is not many choices.
I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I'm staying my ass at home. we ain't defending shit. I'm staying my ass at home, man.
Yo,
we
you're a
me and Kate Bishop ain't
clown.
doing shit out here, to be honest. But I'm gonna start. Mercedes, you have any thoughts on that? The future Avengers.
I'm kind of scared.
Shit,
Right.
I'm scared. I'm a civilian. Them motherfuckers is protecting me. I'm cooked.
I don't know what to expect. I just hope.
I don't know. Young Avengers doesn't seem like that bad of an idea.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, it was clearly being set up for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know who the adult Avengers are, so you got to start somewhere, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I guess.
I mean, we got to see how with Marvel's doing the revamp and all that now. We kind of just got to wait and see how they're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're doing it the right way, then it could be cool. If this was like the Young Avengers coming out, like when Marvel was on that really bad trail these last like year or two. Not gonna lie, man, might have been one of the worst movies ever made. But they're clearly doing like a revamp. They're trying to fix things and trying to make things more coherent and come out in a better way. I'm not gonna sit here and say I hate the idea, because especially if like they bring in like I don't even know if he said his name during Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I think that's gonna be Captain America, Isaiah's grandson.
Oh yeah, I know
That was a
you're
big
talking about.
rumor during that.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Captain America. Then you have Kate. You have Kamala, you have Cassie. I don't know who else he'd bring. Ironheart, Riri Williams could be brought in. The characters have all been pretty cool on their own. Obviously, we don't know how they're going to be their dynamic once they actually get together. But I don't hate the idea. I mean, I don't know if it's like was the best post-credit scene you could have used. I mean, I get Kamala was already in the movie, so you might as well set up something for her future. But like, it really felt like I was watching like Iron Man, like the original Iron Man, like when like Fury just walks in the house, he's like, I want to tell you about the Avengers Initiative. Like, why are you doing that? You're not Nick Fury. You are not Nick Fury. Like, what are you doing in my apartment?
Yo. But then again, it's like, Kate Bishop gonna kill her. Like, what you gonna pull out a bow and arrow? By the time you pull that shit out, you're done. Like,
but okay, so actually, yeah. So this website one actually has so this could be the team, is what they're saying. Cassie, America Chavez, forgot about her. That's a pretty powerful character. Patriot, we talked about. Wiccan and Speed, which would be Wanda's kids if they get brought back. Obviously, we know they're not alive anymore in this, but with the multiverse now, anything could happen. They're saying they could bring in Kid Loki from the whatever that place is called at the end of the Loki show. Riri Williams, which we mentioned. Scar, which was Hulk. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. I know. I don't want to hear Demar. I don't want to hear
Don't start up the Hawk lineage. Don't give me that.
Oh my God.
Started with the Hawk lineage, man.
I don't even think that was an actor. I think that was literally like they just made Mark Ruffalo look younger. I don't think that's even like they had an actor for the screen capture. If they did, that's some terrible AI stuff.
Hey, we can go Avengers team without a Hawk, man. Please he need a damn. I don't even. He been on a break since the first Avengers movie, but damn. You got anybody else though on that list?
No, I actually I didn't even say the last name. Y'all caught me up before I could say it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So no, it's done. No, it's done.
It's done.
Like, that was the last name, but we're gonna pretend he doesn't exist.
I'm kind of excited. I'd be excited for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Young Avengers could be cool. I mean, like
they don't have to fight like Thanos.
exactly,
Yeah,
like right.
right. No,
give me
no.
like a believable
Like,
villain.
kids
Yeah,
to save the world.
literally.
Like I don't want that
Yeah.
shit. I hate that. So if they have to fight some low level thing and they're isolated somehow, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, so, like, I don't think the idea is bad at all. I think the characters definitely can make it work. But I do agree with you. Don't make them fight Thanos Jr. Don't make them fight
Don't make
Ultron's
them
son.
fight-
Like
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like Kid Ultron. Like I don't need that.
Yeah, don't throw fucking Thor and Spider-Man, because then I'm not gonna give a fuck about none of them characters. I'm gonna be
You
honest.
didn't
Don't
mention
throw none of them in there.
Love.
Oh, Love from I mean, if she'd be on Earth at that time, then she could be another one too for sure.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So just anybody with a fucking Hawk family member, please.
Alright, man.
No, man.
We get it, bro.
He is so ass. I can't get. I'm not even.
I don't even. I'm never even saying his name again on this podcast.
Bro, don't, cause bro.
I'm done, bro. Just
He's not
go
mad.
to the next post credit scene, man.
Alright,
I like
so-
Hulk too. Like I just think they like ruined it.
Yeah, I don't like. They don't want him to be too mad, too OP, but like then
He
just
needs
a
to be
fucking
mad
civilian.
though.
That's what I'm saying. Just be a civilian, then, bro. Be Bruce. Like be Bruce. And then we got the other post credit scene with my boy. You know what I mean? Beast.
I saw that one. I like that one because I always.
And I liked that it was
Kelsey
Kelsey. I'll say I liked that it was Kelsey Grammer's Beast. 'Cause I feel like he got misused so
not
bad.
that other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we never really get to see anything with him in Last Stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
No,
really
not-
does.
Is that Last Stand?
What is that? Wait.
X3.
X3, yes.
Because by then he's kind of already retired. He only kind of comes back. We don't get enough interaction with him and Wolverine.
Yep.
But I thought he was good, like Senator, because he's like a whatever. He's in the government. Now.
Yeah.
I like that version of Beast. I thought that was cool.
So yeah, I definitely think again with the post credit scene, definitely fire. You know, probably in my opinion was left field. I didn't expect like fucking Beast to be in a post-credit scene.
Yeah, but it makes sense though if she ends up in another universe. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
they just want to keep throwing X-Men at the wall to get us excited for when the X-Men finally arrive in the MCU. When they actually drop their versions.
And,
of it, you
and
know
Beast
what
is
I'm
a
saying?
character like he could damn near pop up in almost every he's
Yeah,
on some chill
he's
shit.
usable,
Like
yeah, he's a very
he-
usable
You know
character.
what I mean, he chilling. He don't got to be mad, to be useless. But again, Beast he could be on some chill shit.
And it's pretty cool
Grammer
too.
like auditioned for Han Solo.
Really,
I didn't really think he was
I-
old enough.
that's
but
pretty
he
interesting.
definitely- He was really young.
I never knew that.
He didn't. He never got a callback or anything, but he like actually did a reading for it.
And then on top of the fact too, when you bring in Beast, obviously Monica sees her mom who died while she was blipped. That's another pretty cool one as far as like the emotion things go. And then on top of that, Beast obviously name drops Professor Xavier. Says, the professor wants to see you.
And we
Professor
did see
Xavier.
him. We did see Professor Xavier in, I believe,
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of
It was
Madness.
another version of him, but still to see to hear about that again. It's just cool to see. And obviously, you get the binary thing too, like the binary references and all that. You see her in her full costume. Obviously, binary is Captain Marvel's strongest form. If we're gonna get villains that are powerful, let Captain Marvel do that. So that we actually have a character that's strong enough to fight some of these villains.
Yep.
So it was cool. I do like that post-credit scene. I think I don't mind a post-credit scene that sets up the future a little bit more like that. Both do that, you know what I'm saying? But obviously to see the X-Men is obviously always going to be more exciting.
Is it? I think Kate Bishop is up there.
All right,
like, let's
next
talk about
scene,
it.
next scene.
I think Kate Bishop, yo.
Next.
Dude,
If
the
somebody,
Kate Bishop
bro,
fan.
if somebody's robbing your local DiCamillo store, I'm calling Kate Bishop up. I'm not calling up.
She is not saving DiCamillo,
She is
bro.
not answering the phone.
That's below her pay
She
grade.
is not answering.
So who gonna do it? The cops? The cops is useless.
No, you gotta call Kamala, bro.
Bruh.
Me? What do you mean?
All right, man. Nah, my fault. Let me call up Bruce. See what he do.
Nah, Scar on line 3, man.
Yeah, all my donuts gonna be gone. He robbed my DiCamillos. But yeah, so that's it for the Marvels. Again, we didn't watch the whole movie, but the post-credit scenes were definitely interesting to us. We're gonna pivot into Star Wars now. Another Disney little project.
Yeah, we're Disney. We're Disney puppets,
we're
bro.
Disney made. Like, imagine Disney just said, "Yo, we're not gonna do any more shows." Like, we might be cooked.
I'm like Amazon can
It's
only do
over.
so much, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Amazon Prime Video can only do so much. Like, you know what I mean? So, Star Wars, though, man. We're gonna do a tier list to wrap up the show, but we're gonna talk about future projects that we think are coming. We have the Disney Plus shows. Ahsoka season 2 is a possibility. We already have Mandalorian season 4 confirmed. Bad Batch is supposed to be coming out, I think, in like 2 months. We have a few other shows that's coming out, and then, in my opinion, I think Filoni's setting up a trilogy with Thrawn as the main villain. Mercedes, I'll start with you. You want to talk about the possibility of Thrawn being the next villain, I guess you could say, in a live-action Star Wars movies?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to really think here. Like, oh my gosh, help me out a little bit. Yo, give me
All right,
something.
bro.
No, give me something.
No, you're good. I'll talk for you, I guess. Thrawn is an interesting one for sure. That's a character that we obviously you don't see a lot out of unless you watch Rebels or if you've read the comics or books or anything like that until we get Ahsoka. You don't really know too much about him. But when you do know about him is that he's obviously he's a pretty interesting villain. You know what I'm saying? Obviously not one along the lines of like Palpatine or Vader where you have the Force. This guy is more so just like actual
mastermind,
mastermind.
like-
You know what I'm saying? Like army, mastermind as far as war goes. He's obviously you see Ahsoka. He's got like the zombie soldiers and shit like that. The zombie stormtroopers. It'll be interesting to see if they actually do use him as like a villain for that because I feel like Star Wars has been so reliant on Force villains and villains like that for so long.
Yep.
To see one that doesn't have access to that. That was like a big thing, but and I'll talk about it more when we get to the tier list. Is like where I kind of was mad with the sequels. Is that I thought General Hux could have been a really good villain of that kind of caliber, and they kind of just turned him into a sideshow.
Yeah, the whole damn cast was sideshow.
So it's like it'll be cool to actually see like a villain where it's just more so he's evil and he has the access to all this military power and the people and the Empire obviously still believes in him. They don't have anybody else to look at. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do use him, especially if Filoni decides to use him the right way. They brought back Mickelson, was it right? Yeah. Was it Rogers Mickelson came back to play him?
And he was the voice actor.
Yeah, so he was the voice actor in Rebels.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see like a live action version, and we'll see what they do with that.
Yep, definitely.
And it's a Filoni thing, so I think if it's a Filoni movie,
Yeah.
it's going to be Thrawn. Like,
Yeah,
it's gonna be very extended universe-esque.
Yeah.
You know, like it won't be as like the book, but because I can't. But it's gonna have a lot. If it's that, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a trilogy, just a movie. I think a movie would be fire. We see what we got: Bo-Katan.
I think it'll be something like it'll be like
Darjan.
it'll be a very ensemble movie.
Mhm.
if they
It's gonna be
decide
a
to do
Star
it.
Wars Avenger.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was just basically. Yeah,
There's
it's like,
got to be Ahsoka, Mando, Baby Grogu, and all those characters. Plus, you have Scouts and Crew coming out,
Yeah.
which is in that same timeline. So, and then you have to bring in legacy characters. You have to recast legacy characters. You have to have Luke Skywalker. You can't face Thrawn without
Luke Skywalker.
and Han Solo. You have to recast them
yeah.
Yep.
and bring in young actors. You can't CGI the faces. You just. I mean, that's something we've talked about on a regular basis in our
Yeah.
podcast. Like, but I think it could be something. I think it'd be really cool.
I
and
just
think-
I trust Filoni with Star Wars right now.
Yeah,
He clearly has a
definitely.
clear vision for what he wants to do.
And I think he
And-
knows how to make the transition, like how to get like Mark Hamill to come out and say, "Listen, man, I'm 60-something years old.
I
can't
don't
be Han
need to
Solo
play
anymore.
right.
And I like this guy, and I'm giving him my lightsaber. Have a press conference and let him just hand him his lightsaber and say, if you like me, then you have to like him. Like,
Right.
You can do that shit. Like do that, and then just move on and stop with the facial.
Yeah, the
crap.
face. Yeah, that's a little. Come on, man. But I was gonna bring that up though because we, as Star Wars fans, you know, we seen Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka. You know, we love that or whatever. So why does when Marvel bring back characters, we kind of side eye it, but Star Wars bring back their old characters and we cool with it? Is it like a difference? Do y'all see? Is it the execution way? Like
I think it's an execution way. When so we talked about obviously a couple weeks ago Marvel bringing back dead characters, bringing back characters like that. Anakin Skywalker hadn't been seen in a movie since 2005.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. Okay, you get him
And
in Ahsoka
Force
now.
Ghost is a thing.
Well, and
It's not like
right,
they invented it. Like
right. It's not like they brought, and it's not like they
Yeah,
brought back
it's-
real life from death. Like okay,
Yeah.
we
He's not like
Right.
walking around. He's Force Ghost
Yeah.
Anakin, or he's various versions of Anakin
Yeah.
we saw in Qui-Gon and that we saw like in the Obi show. Like, so yeah, we have a vehicle for it in Star Wars, and that's why they're allowed to do it because they
Yeah.
set it up like in 1984.
That's true. That's
right.
true. That's true.
So,
And
even
I think-
earlier, 1980,
and-
they set it up.
And that's not even to say, so like when you got that, and like I said, then you include it with, like I said, Marvel is not at a point, it hasn't been around long enough like Star Wars has to where you could just bring back dead characters like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do it, I mean, they have the multiverse the way that they could do it, but like, do I really care to see another Iron Man and Captain America right now?
Yeah, nah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like, you already introduced so many other characters. Like, I'd like to see some screen time with other characters at that point.
And I feel
don't-
like with Star Wars, they also bring up like even when they during the Kenobi show with Anakin and Obi-Wan, like we see how smooth their connection is. Like now we want more. Like now
Yeah.
why I can't get a live action Clone Wars? Like we done seen the
And I think
Obi-Wan
and that's another thing too, though, is like Marvel isn't really fully established around one set of characters the way Star Wars is. Star Wars is very established around the
Yeah,
Skywalker
Anakin
movie.
is Star Wars.
That's what I'm
damn near.
saying. Like,
Definitely.
like you know, when you bring up characters like that, I mean, like Star Wars is established around a very specific set of characters. You know,
Yeah.
obviously Luke, Leia, Han. Then you get Anakin and Obi-Wan, so on and so forth. Like, so when you see these characters come back, you're like,
you
yo, like,
have a
that's
ton of
yeah,
characters in
crazy.
different timelines.
Yeah,
like
you-
you got
yeah.
characters like in like when Anakin was a kid. You got
Yeah.
characters that predate Anakin. You got characters that post-date, like Luke Skywalker era.
Right.
You know, you've got post, Return of the Jedi characters now. Like you've got a lot of characters from a lot of different time frames.
Mm-hmm.
And they lucked out that some of the actors actually are aged right.
right to where
you
it
can
works
bring
out.
back
Exactly.
Ewan McGregor and stuff like that, so it works, which helps them.
Yep, definitely. And I mean, we're gonna touch on the movies a little bit later too. I do think it is like kind of a small factor with how the movies are perceived, the newer ones.
Yeah.
Again, if those newer movies were fucking excellent or good, I don't think they would be bringing back all these old characters damn near every show. So that's just my opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? We haven't seen a new character. We haven't seen like Rey or Finn or any of them
Yeah.
since the last Skywalker.
Since the last, we haven't.
So-
Well, that's kind of like what is weird with me with the route they decided to go after those new movies. I know they weren't critically acclaimed the way that other Star Wars movies were. Although I can't really say that the prequels were critically acclaimed either. But when you come back and you bring out Mandalorian, which was so cool by itself, but then even Mandalorian kind of fell into that trap of, okay, now we got to start bringing back characters that people know.
Yep.
So, Mandalorian season 1 felt so creative. It felt new. It felt like a breath of fresh air. And you get Moff Gideon and Mando and Grogu,
Yeah.
and it's like awesome. It's like,
Lot of
okay, this is a
different
new part of Star Wars. But then by the end of season 2, and now we're talking about Boba Fett. We're talking about Luke Skywalker. We're talking about all these other characters. Bo-Katan shows up. And you kind of start falling in, and like, you know, now you're like, and then you figure out the timeline is set between Return of the Jedi and the new one. You know what I'm saying? Like, is the Mandalorian ever going to get to the new timeline? You know what I'm saying? Where we see the First Order. You know, like, I know you've seen the dark side and you've seen the Empire still be there in Mando, but are we ever? Is the Mando story going to go on that long? You know what I'm saying? To where we even, because I know that's, it seems to me too, what with the Mando show and Book of Boba Fett and all that, what they're doing is it's like, it feels like they're trying to fix the holes that the sequels left.
Yes.
Like pretty easily. Like it seems like Filoni's like, okay, listen, I know a lot of people didn't like the sequels. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of questions. Here's this. I'm gonna give you as much context and as much background information as I can. You know what I'm saying? You see the cloning stuff, and you see like Snoke's body in the tank, and then you see General Hux's dad is in, you know, Mandalorian season 3, and he's one of the ones that worships Thrawn and wants Thrawn to come back. They're clearly trying to connect it as best they can, so that people like the sequels more.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, man, that's at least they're like, you know, they were in a hole. Well, not a hole, but you know, the sequels came out. You know, they weren't fucking. Everybody didn't love them, and they're resurging with these Disney Plus shows. I will say, outside of maybe Boba Fett and season 3 of Mandalorian,
Boba Fett.
I think they did good. I think they did all good. Boba Fett, in my opinion, was
Boba Fett fell off, and the reason Boba Fett fell off is the same thing that I said already. Stop. You're putting characters in there that don't have to do with Boba Fett. Boba Fett was an assassin, and half the season is him. You find out how he survived the Sarlacc. Okay, he's with the Sand People. I forget their actual like names.
Tusken,
the Tusken Raiders. And so you're out there with them, and it's like, okay, this is cool. But then they get slaughtered by, you know, whoever. And then like, okay, it's like it's cool to see the callbacks. He gets his own Rancor, this and that. But then there's literally 2 whole episodes without Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Out of
exactly.
nowhere.
I think episode
Boba
5.
Fett is such a bizarre thing. Like, it starts off pretty cool. The first couple episodes are pretty cool. Then we go into Mando 2.0.
Yeah.
He's not even in it. And then it's like we come back. I do like the fact that Cad Bane was cool.
Yeah,
I
like
forget the Wookiee that they brought in. There were some really cool elements. But like, I don't understand why he suddenly thinks that like I'm going to be in charge of Mos Espa. Like,
yeah, like it's
I'm
just
going
so
to create
it's
a
just,
kindler like why? Like,
Yeah,
I get
he turned into this like different, like he didn't have that edge with him no
and
more.
I just don't understand like why Boba Fett is even getting the attention. Boba Fett's a cool character.
Well, remember, they were supposed to be Boba Fett movie, and then they realized that we can't do a movie of Boba Fett because who cares? So they like, let's do a different Mandalorian because there's much more cool Mandalorian lore, and that's how we got Mando. And then they were like, well, but we got Boba Fett out there, and I just feel like that someone really pushed that. And I don't think we'll get another. I don't think we're gonna get another season, of Boba Fett.
I would be shocked.
We'll
if we
see
did.
him again, but he'll be a secondary character.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to me, anyways, because like the version that you get, I don't know if being in the Sarlacc like changed him or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I think that time
Look, it
with
was
the
too
Tusken
nice.
Warriors, like
Tusken Warriors
I
definitely
like
did.
that. I like that arc. I like the analogy to an indigenous people.
Yeah.
That the Tusken, like that they used to have water, and that they like. I really thought that was really cool.
Yeah, like the background
and then
stuff
they're
was
just
all that.
dead. And then I
Yeah,
thought,
well-
well, maybe the woman was still around, and she was going to show up in the last episode. Nope, she didn't. Like, it was like, we didn't see, like, it was weird when he came back and they were all killed, but we didn't see, like, everybody. Like,
No, yeah.
So I kept thinking, all right, they're going to rock up at the end of, and that would have saved it for me, that, like, that thing. And I do like the, like, you know, reliance on that weapon and fighting Cad Bane with it. I thought Cad Bane was great. I thought that
Cad Bane
really
was cool to see actually.
Yeah.
The
He
people on the stupid scooters.
oh
like,
yeah.
I
I forget the text. The text.
I like the fact that people would like enhance themselves purposely,
Yeah.
but the bright colored scooters, just like, what the frick is that? Like,
or
that's what I mean. But there's so many goofy missteps. Like, who is in a production room thing like this is gonna be great? Like,
like I need to do this. I need to see
Yeah,
this.
they kind of, in my opinion, they kind of like, I don't want to say tarnished his legacy, but I feel like he just like he had that
But
edge.
I
that
think what it
I
was,
feel like
I,
they ruined
I
his
feel like
legacy.
he. I don't know.
I don't
He
know if
had
he
that
he was
edge
in
to
Mando,
him.
it made him really cool.
Uh-huh.
Then they ruined it. They
Well, that's
ruined
what kills
it with
me.
the show.
Is that when he was in Mando, I was like, okay, this is the Boba Fett that we saw in
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
and
and
Empire
then his
Strikes
motherfucker
Back.
just
Mando,
disappeared.
they're flying
Like,
around and
He
stuff.
just
That was
disappeared.
great, you know,
He disappeared.
And it's like it's like almost like they forgot that he was a bounty hunter. Like he don't even act like a bounty hunter
doesn't.
no
Nah,
more.
he's a civilian. Like he's a
Right,
really
like,
cool.
are
Like he's
you
a civilian
on
with
bounty
AIDS.
hunter?
Slave
Slave
one,
one.
whatever you do, don't
Yeah.
call it slave one.
It's the I don't like unbelievable, man. Like this guy's supposed to be a bounty hunter and he gets turned into something completely different.
He's a civilian with aim. That's
Right.
what I'm calling him.
Yeah,
He's a civilian
at this
with
point.
aim.
Civilian with a gun permit.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, all right, bro, I'm done
No,
with you.
no assassin.
Yo, and then I seen the video. It was the last episode.
And
This
when he
guy,
does the spin, I know you were
This-
the spin.
Yo.
I already knew you were gonna mention that. He does the
Yo,
unnecessary spin,
The most,
man.
the,
Funniest
yo,
shit
it was
ever.
it was fire though, cause I was
No, it was
watching it. It was
funny.
like 3 a.m. I'm like, yo, he really did that.
When I
He
first
didn't
watched it, I was
spin
like, okay,
on
I was
nobody.
like, right, like you literally trick shotted them for no reason.
Like, what the
Right,
fuck? Like, you want to
yeah.
be cool? Like, this is your last scene ever in Star Wars, bro.
Yeah,
like,
bro,
I guess
he
you gotta
trick
make
shot
it.
it.
You gotta
make
show
it
me
count,
something,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? But yeah, that Book of Boba Fett was something, man. But
That's a bad one.
that was something.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, I didn't like Mando season 3 either.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It had some cool moments, some cool ideas. Didn't really hit me for me the way Mando 1 is still the best to me.
1 and 2 are really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mando 2, but I will say like the ending scene of Mando 2, I don't think I've ever acted like that for a TV show. I'm not
I
even gonna lie to
cried.
you.
I can't believe I cried,
Like,
bro.
when I saw the X-wing come in, I was like, "Yo, there's
That
no
was
way!"
really good.
Like,
That was
what
really
the
good.
fuck? And then, like,
Yeah.
you see Luke, and he's in his cloak, and like
And you
the green
see
light,
Luke,
like,
you see Luke Skywalker do like the hallway scene, like
Yeah.
Yeah, like, literally
like a
Vader
do
hallway
the
scene,
hallway
yeah.
scene in Rogue
It's
One.
crazy.
We're like, oh man, Luke Skywalker, don't mess with it. Like we see,
Right.
like we see the Luke Skywalker that we need to see on
Yes.
screen, like in a Thrawn movie. Like we need that. That's Luke Skywalker.
I think that's what really does it too. Is like like we never see Luke at full power. Like,
No,
ever.
not at all.
Like you finally get this little snippet for 5 minutes where he's really tearing everything apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is the coolest thing ever, but then we never get it again.
Again.
Never did again.
They
he
just
was
ruin
a
it
part of
every
the sequels, by the
time.
way, y'all. He was a part of the sequels. You know.
They ruined
Nah,
Boba
bro.
Fett.
You want to do it?
But
Uh,
I'm ready to do the movie tier, man. I'm ready to do it.
I will say there is a TV show that's coming out that I'm really interested in. And that's The Acolyte.
Like,
It's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. To see how the Sith infiltrate the High Republic era and like how they actually end up, how Palpatine does end up. I know Palpatine probably won't be in it, but just the Sith in general.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of Andor, so I'm really looking forward. to
And Andor season 2 is also.
I really
good,
like
yeah.
Andor
Yeah, I
a
heard that
lot.
was good.
Like I like that side of the Star Wars universe. Like George Lucas was a revolutionary, like not just like a filmmaker. He was like revolutionary in terms of what he thought like of America.
Right.
What he like the Empire is America. Like it's the United, like it's imperialism. It's like that's what the era he grew up in, and I like this kind of this look at the Empire the way it's seen through Andor, and I like that.
Yeah.
I just think Andor is really good. A lot of people don't like it because it's too dark or whatever, but I just love this other side of the rebellion, or the beginning of the rebellion, how dark it is.
yeah.
So, and it's incredibly well acted.
And it's actually
too.
funny because I will be using that because we'll wait till we get to the movie Ringing. But. All right, man. So where do we want to start? Should we go in order from movies release date? Should we just start in order of
just
1 through 9?
it don't matter to me.
No, let's start by release date, man. Okay, we got Star Wars, 1977. So okay, obviously now it's called A New Hope, but it wasn't called A New Hope originally.
Nope.
But we'll call it A New Hope.
Yeah.
So Star Wars, A New Hope, man.
I'm gonna go A.
Eh?
I'm gonna go A.
Okay. I could agree with you on that. Obviously, it's the very first one. It sets the tone. Some very memorable moments. I think we should kind of break down the movie a little bit as we go too, instead of just being like, "Oh, here's the ranking." You know
Yep.
what I'm
So
saying? Binary Sunset. That's all I gotta say.
I'll go from my point of view. So I really started getting back into Star Wars when Disney Plus came out. I was just sitting there like, you know what? I haven't really watched Star Wars much, so let me go tune in. And originally, I really didn't like the first original. Oh, I'm not gonna say that because I like the movies, but I was really more a Star Wars fan via the games.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I really got into the movies when Disney Plus came out, New Hope. I love New Hope. It was a breath of fresh air compared to the sequels, at least. Because I would probably say I watched every Star Wars movie once.
Yeah.
And then Disney Plus came out, and I ended up fucking watching 1 through 6 like 3-4 times. So, I definitely loved New Hope. Luke Skywalker, like, we knew his potential. But, again, I'm not going to throw too many shots. But he didn't come out the gates beating Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how Rey was beating
Save
Kylo
it for
Ren.
the end. Save it for when we get to the
All right,
sequel, man.
I'm done. That's all I'm gonna say
Save it for
about
when we
it.
get to the
But
sequels,
the
man.
characters definitely Han Solo, damn near my favorite character on there.
Yeah, that's gonna end up being my favorite character when we talk about the first one.
Fucking Luke. Again, I feel like you wanted to root for Luke in this movie, so that I put it in A tier,
No,
man.
it's definitely deserves the A ranking. In all honesty, I didn't watch Star Wars until 2020. Never had any exposure to the media,
Yeah.
nothing like that. Me and Mercedes got into it
Watched
literally
it
the
together.
exact same time. Watched all the movies together. Started playing Battlefront together. So we got into it literally the exact same time, me and Mercedes, and fell in love with it. That first movie, obviously, the iconic theme. You get the binary Luke on the farm, the binary sunset.
Yep.
Super cool. There is some really funny moments. Like the movies do hold up. for as old as they are. But like like when Obi-Wan appears for the first time and he does that scream that scares away the Tusken Raiders, like how did a human make that noise? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
They
Like,
put that in at the end, like, yo, I need you to voice act this like before the movie.
Hello
come
there.
on.
And then I love that they've been using that for now. They keep bringing the hello there back.
yeah, like come on, like you know what I'm saying? Like just
This is
so
so
cool to
cool.
see all that, like getting like the little bit of explanation, especially like after you watch it like multiple times, like
Yeah.
how Obi-Wan breaks down the Clone Wars, how he used to fight with his dad and all that. How they keep it a secret of who his dad is, even though Obi-Wan clearly knows. There's some really memorable moments. Obviously, Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia, classic.
Yeah.
The costume. And honestly, like even like when Alderaan gets blown up, and you really kind of feel that, like they really turn that planet to ash.
Yeah,
Yo, in
pack
front of
them
her
up.
too.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I'm
have
saying.
her watch.
And like it's crazy,
back
like
her
once you
up.
like get like the world building done, like obviously like back then when you first watched it, or even when it first came out, you'd be like, damn, like, that's just sad. Like that whole planet got destroyed. But then once you start to get the background, you watch the Clone Wars show, you watch the prequels, like, or you watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, even you're like, damn, like that's a lot bigger of a subject than what they make it seem,
Yep.
But it's just a really, really good movie. Han Solo to me is the best character of the first film. Shout out, not Mark Hamill. Yeah, Harrison Ford. I always forget his damn name. Yeah, shout out Harrison Ford, man. That's a really good movie. And even Vader doesn't even get a lot of screen time in that one, but when he does show up, it's like awesome.
Yeah,
to
it's
see,
on.
you know?
He's on that timing. Definitely.
All right, so Empire Strikes Back. I'm not even giving y'all a chance. S ranking.
I ain't got no shit.
Empire Strikes Back.
I will argue, and because all those years I touched media, I think Empire Strikes Back is one of the top 3 sci-fi movies of all time.
And I'm gonna double down on you with that because I think Empire Strikes Back, and I say this about every good sequel, is when a sequel can take what the first movie does well and double it. It's a
Yeah.
perfect movie.
Yep.
And Empire Strikes Back takes everything that was good about the first one and doubles down on it and makes it memorable.
It went out of its way to expand what we talk about universe building. The universe they built after, like how different it is in terms of like what we see in the first movie. We're either in the desert or on a spaceship. Like now we're like
Now you see that you start to
we're
see all the
seeing
different
like average people. We're seeing
Yeah.
pirates. We're seeing like it's such a different the way they do it. It's just such a it is. It's just
and like it's like the Empire Strikes Back's opening whole sequence is like one of my favorite things in all of Star Wars. Hoth. I mean, just the planet itself. You're on a snow planet. You get the AT-ATs. You get the damn like what is it? No, that's the damn thing that kidnaps Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
I forget what they're called, but you know what I'm saying, like the
whatever.
abominable
They got ripped,
snowman.
Yeah, the
you know what I'm saying,
Wampa,
like,
whatever it's called.
like,
But
you say,
even the ride, I remember being like in I think like 8th grade or whatever it was when you see like like the tauntauns, the things that they're riding,
like-
and then even
my
again
favorite.
Han Solo is like still has that humor with all the crazy shit going on. He's like, I thought these things smell bad on the
On the
outside.
inside,
Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
you get like you still they did this next step forward, but they still didn't forget like why
What-
we like these
that's it,
characters
what made
because
these
of their
characters what they are.
camaraderie. Like that's what I remember most of the first movies, the camaraderie of these characters. Like, and they didn't like sometimes they forget to do that. They kept that, which is great.
Yeah, and so you get all they say like the whole movie, just very memorable. Obviously, you get Dagobah and Yoda, which is watching Yoda, man, in those movies is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
He was saying some shit.
The Yoda puppet, like, is just literally
it's
insane,
crazy.
man. Like,
I remember
he was really on
seeing that
shit.
for the first time, like,
and then obviously, like, I do think the ending is probably in top 2 movie like reveals ever. I mean, that thing has been referenced so many times in so many different forms of media. You know what I'm saying? You get Luke and
I probably never had the chance to tell you this. Like, imagine, like, you guys grew up knowing that line before you even saw the movie.
Right.
Like, that Darth Vader, like, even if you haven't seen Star Wars, you probably know the line.
Yeah,
Dying
that's
your
what I'm
father.
saying, when it's been
Like,
used so
I
many
had to
times.
live that. Like,
Yeah,
I
like-
remember being, again, in 8th grade or whatever it was, and I'm like, what? But
Like-
he's awful. He's like, he did Alderaan. Like, he's there. Like, wait, huh? And then like, oh, by the way, we're gonna turn Han Solo, who everybody loves, is into a TV dinner. And then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, we'll see you in 3 years.
Yeah, like,
Like
it's-
what? I always make the joke that like I'm so old that I remember a time that I didn't know that Luke Skywalker's dad was Darth Vader. Like,
Yeah.
that is, I don't know, like, what's a bigger moment in movie, like what's a bigger surprise in movie than that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, and like I say, like that's what does it for me is that like that when you hit the mark with something when it gets used as much as it has been
Yeah.
since that's been released.
Definitely.
That thing has been used in every single form of media there is,
Yeah.
as a joke or as just like a reference. You know what I'm saying? Like Luke finding out that Darth Vader is his father. Obviously, as you said, Han Solo getting turned into a TV dinner, put in the carbonite.
So,
They're like that whole thing. Lando is honestly a breath of fresh air. Lando is a very cool
Yeah.
character.
That
Even
asteroid
though-
battle scene.
Yeah, the
like,
asteroid battle. I'm
Like
saying,
how hard that must have been done, like with traditional
Yeah,
special
dude,
effects.
Han Solo had the Millennium Falcon parked on the back of a damn battle battle cruiser,
yeah, right.
and then just flew away. Like like they can't find you. Like yeah, no shit.
But then they introduced like how cool like the Boba Fett was, and like
And so that's what I want to reference too. So when you get the bounty hunters in that room, I need Bosk in live action so bad.
Yeah.
I've been calling for Bosk in a live action movie forever.
Yo,
Like,
no,
why,
no
show me a
justice.
bounty hunter, man. Like Bosk.
that's
like,
why I liked with
Justice.
Mando when they brought in the IG robot, because I
Yeah.
think the IG robot's really cool. And there's so much cool lore about IG-88. Like there's like some
Yeah.
there's some really funny legends crap. Like comic books and all that shit about IG-88. Like people have dragged IG-88, like
Oh,
all the shit that he's done in the comics and in extended universe stuff. So it's funny. Like there's just, that's why I love the fact that they had IG whatever
Yeah.
in the Mando show, because it's like obviously a different one, but it's such a cool. I love that lore. I love the lore that they created of that stuff.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back definitely deserves its S. Probably like, and I would probably say it's probably the movie that if you're asked a Star Wars fan, they probably remember that one the most as far as.
And I was gonna say, it's funny you said that, because Rich, you said that like you knew that, well, like you didn't know that Luke was the son of Anakin, but you gotta think now that they promote so much, like they want you to watch 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So like you can think there's probably like less than 5% of people who watch 4, 5, and 6 first, and were probably shocked at that.
Yeah.
I
Like,
didn't
they don't
let my
have that.
kids see. Like Zach was younger, so I made sure he saw Empire before he saw.
Yeah, like,
1,
see,
2,
can
and
you
3.
imagine? Like, when I watched it, we watched it together. We watched it in chronological order, so we didn't watch it in release order. So,
So you like, you
I
already knew.
Yeah, I already knew. So, like, if I'd have known going into it to watch it in release order, that'd have been a crazy reveal. Like,
Yeah.
And that's why you people make fun of Mark Hamill, like, it's impossible. But
Yeah.
like that was like how we all felt in the audience.
Yeah,
like
like-
it's so well directed, and nobody knew. Like even on set, because he says, like on the set, like the only persons who knew it were like George Lucas, the director, and Mark Hamill. Like nobody else knew.
Knew
And,
they
and then
were,
obviously later on, like several months later in post production, James Earl Jones had to say, "No, I'm your father." Like,
Yeah.
but no one was there. The editors obviously, like they say like under 10 people knew. Like when on set, the line that Obi-Wan that Anakin that Darth Vader says to Mark Hamill is Obi-Wan killed your father.
Yeah.
Like that's the fake line that they used that was in the script. So if it got leaked, everybody would have heard that.
That, yeah.
And then it was like they were really good back in those days. To
Was
like
keeping
try
stuff
to
under
protect
wraps. Yeah, there was
stuff.
no social media, no technology.
Yeah.
Nobody could
No
leak it.
internet.
Yeah,
like,
shit,
nobody
shit,
could,
shit on
like-
the newspaper.
you
Breaking
couldn't, like,
news.
take a picture.
Breaking
Right.
news. Darth Vader's
You weren't
loose.
taking a picture with your phone and putting it on Twitter. Like, you know, like,
Right.
there's no one's leaking shit back then.
No, I mean, and honestly, like that's just such a cool thing too. Like since you bring up Obi-Wan, like that's why like the Obi-Wan show, even though I do think like overall it was a pretty lackluster show, like it had its moments. The ending scene with him, anytime he fights Vader in the Obi-Wan show, does really hit. You know what I'm saying? When you find
Yeah, that fight redeems the show.
Yeah,
for me.
absolutely. I'd say, like, when you think back to, even, like, in the first movie, I know we kind of skipped over, like, when Obi-Wan gets killed by Vader. And, he talks about, when I last time I saw you, I was the learner, but now I'm the master, you know what I'm saying? And all that ties back
Yeah.
into Obi-Wan Kenobi's show later on. That is what Obi-Wan Kenobi does do really well, is it really ties in some of that original trilogy stuff. And so now we get to Return of the Jedi, and I want you guys to go. I gave Empire, you went first, Mercedes. You tell us, what do you think Return of the Jedi deserves on the tier ranking? You wrote it down?
1 second.
Don't be scared. We won't judge you.
Well, we
I
might.
want to say
Unless you put it in like S, because it's kind of crazy.
I want to say the B.
Okay. Okay, but now why? We gotta have some explanation to it.
Let me.
Because we went and saw Return of the Jedi in theaters.
In theaters, yeah. So, I feel like there wasn't, I don't know, like, you won't. That's when you really see. So, you see Boba Fett, you see Luke fight Boba Fett.
No, I wouldn't really call it a fight.
Not exactly.
Boba
like,
Fett kind of gets
they
gunned.
just he
got
kind of
bitched.
gets gunned down, and that
He
was
gets
really one of the points in the movie where I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, Boba Fett
There's like
does-
another point where they just kind of
There's a
throw him
lot
off
of
to
missed
the side.
opportunities in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it in A, but I understand the B rating, and I don't even fault you on it because I have issues with Jedi. What I hate about Jedi, the fucking Ewoks.
No,
Excuse my
I
I
knew-
was gonna
I
say
knew
that.
you were
That shit was in
gonna
my
say-
head.
I knew you were gonna say
They
that.
were
I was- that
supposed
shit was
to
in
be
my
on
head.
TV.
That shit was in
They
my
were
head.
supposed to be Wookiees, and then like the movie company said, nope, you don't have the budget for that. There was so much stuff that even though that movie was, those two movies were the top two movies in the entire world at that time, like financially, but they still like cut the budget. So
Budget
like
so much.
Kashyyyk they didn't do Kashyyyk. There was supposed to be a more epic fight between Luke and Boba Fett. It got cut. Like
Yeah.
Han Solo doesn't fly the Millennium Falcon.
Falcon,
We don't even see him in the
Right.
cockpit.
They put Lando in there.
And I'm okay with Lando, and it's all like. But I feel like they Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, and they we got to have him running around like you see Indiana Jones. Like I want to see
Yeah,
Han
they-
Solo
They
goes
had him on
on
Andor
a
going
ship.
crazy.
I feel
He's
like
flying the
Right.
ship. He's not a street fighter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I like, but I put it in A, but I respect B.
Yep, because the fucking Ewoks,
you,
I
thank
feel like
you.
half of them characters they got sidelined at the end. Like we don't
A
really
lot
give
of
a
'em.
fuck about them. Like how are we gonna sit here and believe that Ewoks and a few of us is gonna beat the damn fucking
Empire. Well,
the
they are
Empire?
That's
literally- this is
exactly
literally
my
their base
point.
where they're building
That's-
the Death Star too.
Yes.
Like, come
Like,
on,
what,
man.
bro?
Like,
I just don't believe.
alright,
I
man.
Yeah,
don't
I
believe
will say
that.
like it does feel like they definitely fast tracked it. The Ewoks were pretty bad.
The fight with Boba Fett and Luke.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part. And it's so cool because I love Jabba the Hutt as a character. I think
Yeah.
he's like a pretty interesting character,
Very.
and I like to see all that stuff. Luke fighting the Rancor is cool, but man, like once you get outside of the palace, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
man. Like Jabba the Hutt gets choked out by a chain by Leia in a bikini.
Yeah,
Like, what?
literally, like,
Boba-
like-
I mean, fucking Jabba's like 800
That's
pounds.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
come
Like,
on,
you are,
bro.
And-
bro, you
and
might be
she-
130 pounds wet, Leia. Like you are
Like,
not choking out Jabba the Hutt.
like, come on.
But she
That's
used her
two
force ability.
Yeah,
She
she
didn't know
did.
what she
Like-
had.
Yeah, that she didn't know she had.
I will say there
like-
is something about that movie though that why it could be an A, and this will be my argument for A. I'm not saying it's fine in B. That scene where Palpatine is like just fucking up Luke, and you have again. I'm a kid. I'm in whatever 10th grade now, and I've hated Darth Vader since I was in like 5th grade. and now I am literally rooting for Darth Vader to like up and save his kid, and he does it. And like
Yeah, that's probably a
there's
cool
that moment is almost as good for me as Luke, I Am Your Father, because that's why it's such a good trilogy, because it takes you from he's the worst guy in the universe to, oh wait, this poor guy went through a lot. Oh God. Oh wait, he's my hero now because he saves his kid because and his kid believes that he can be saved, which sets up so much other lore in Star Wars, Clone
Yeah.
Wars, and
Exactly.
everything. And that's why I'm like, that's why I argue for A, but I can respect B, and I'm not gonna split hairs on it. But that's an amazing scene, especially in the context that you don't know all the other lore. You don't
Yeah.
know what he's been through.
You don't know
Now
what
we
happens
do.
yet.
Yeah.
But like when he's
Exactly.
like, you will die, like, and then you just see that. And I remember being in the theater, and me and my friends were like, "Come on!" Like, it's like wrestling, like
Right.
WWE, like get in there, get in the ring, just get in the ring. You want to see him run down the ramp like on WWE,
Right.
just save the day. Like that's when he does that. We're like, yeah, like we're in 10th grade, but like we were cheering our asses off because like. Again, it's so unexpected, and again, it's good filmmaking.
No, and
Sorry for my rant. On
No,
that.
don't apologize at all. But that's why I will say that the ending of Return of the Jedi is satisfying.
Yeah.
And I will say that's probably, to me, probably the most satisfying ending of the original three, because I feel everything felt completed. Like, they didn't have to make any more Star Wars movies after this. If they, like, the ending to me felt good enough. Right? I would have been happy with it. You know what I'm saying? The Empire's defeated, Darth Vader's gone, Palpatine's gone. If they never made another Star Wars movie, Star Wars would still be highly considered as one of the best movies ever made still. And even though it still is, obviously. The whole ending scene with Luke fighting Darth Vader, and like Luke's like being mad chicken, he's kind of like hiding around the corners and shit. You know what I'm saying? And Palpatine's in the back, like basically just like making it all happen. And then
Yeah.
you know, obviously when you find out that Luke and Leia are brother and sister, And Darth Vader like tells me, "Oh, you've been hiding her from me," and all that. Like honestly, this all comes together really well.
Yeah.
Like I say, Darth Vader saving Luke is a cool moment. And then it's even like interesting too, like when you see where he takes off Vader's helmet for the first
Yes.
time. You know what I'm saying? And you see all that. There was like I saw something where like they deleted the original script where Anakin or Luke was supposed to take the helmet and wear the
Yes,
helmet. He was
I
supposed to
saw.
become evil. That was like the original like Return of the Jedi script where like
Yeah.
George wanted him to become evil basically at the end, which would have been dumb in my
Yeah,
opinion.
man,
But
horrible.
I feel like it would have made no sense. But it's just really cool to see that. I love the ending. And then you see all the planets celebrating and all that because the
Yeah.
Empire's been defeated. It just makes you feel good. Return of the Jedi has a really good feeling to it. And then obviously when you see it now, it's even cool because you see Hayden Christensen as Anakin, and you see Obi-Wan, you see Yoda. So it does feel like it has a really good payoff by the end of it.
Yeah, I definitely, and that's why, like, when Vader said that he was Luke's father, it shocked me because I thought Vader was a fucking robot. Like, there was no
that's what I'm
human in
saying.
there.
That's
Like,
what I'm
no
saying.
human in
That's
there.
why when you take his helmet off, you're like, oh shit,
like,
like this is
what
a man. Like,
Like,
this
yo,
is
like-
a real person.
Like, how old is
Right.
he? Like,
Right, you gray. Why are you gray?
like, what's going on? Like, what happened to you? But yeah, I definitely, I'd say B plus. Like, fuck it. Like, it's
Yeah,
right
so I
in
do
between.
kind of wish
I
because like I see both arguments. Like I could see I probably would have put it at an A, but I understand why you put it at a B because as Moranto said, a lot of missed opportunities. Had they really got
Yeah.
the budget they probably deserved, this probably would be considered the best Star Wars movie. But you could
Yes.
tell they had to cut corners at points.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
agree.
now we head into the prequel era.
Woo!
Damon, I already know where you're gonna put this because I agree with you, but you can go ahead, man. Where are we putting Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
You know what? I'm gonna put it at C.
Okay,
I'm gonna put it at C. All right, because it do got some.
some or
It
one?
has a few good points. I think it just
Jar
the
Jar Binks is not a
prequels
highlight.
really outside of episode 3 is just too many politics going on. Kind of fucking slow paced.
See, that's why I like it.
Um,
See, that's why I like it though. I like the politic angle, and not so much in the first one, but the second one.
The second one definitely got better, but in terms of like the pacing in the first one,
the first one,
fucking
I'm not gonna lie.
Anakin Skywalker like never flew. Well, he flew the fucking shit, but he's in space now, not missing, hitting
Yeah.
his targets
Yeah,
100%. I'm like, yo, you're the chosen one, but like, yo, if somebody told me I was the chosen one, like, I'm
Spinning,
about to go
that's a
outside.
good trick.
Yeah, right. Like,
Like,
one man, like it,
Like,
just,
all right, man.
it does get pretty crazy in the first one. Like, I do like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and you know it's so funny because people like it's just they use force speed in that first movie and never use it again. Like, all right, man. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon literally speed down the hallway. Quick as hell. Never see that ability ever
Never do
again
it
in Star
again.
Wars.
Yep.
Like, all right, force speed. That's like that was a one time in
And that
life
was
you're allowed
it.
to use it. Like,
Right.
Right.
Nobody else can use it.
But like, I mean, like I said, the movie. It's just weird because it doesn't. The angle it takes is just so weird. Cause like, okay, they leave the ship because they got ambushed. They end up on Naboo, and then they're like, and then they find Jar Jar Binks, and then it's like, okay,
It's
Jar
like the
Jar
plot
Binks.
is just-
like, what? Like the next thing you know, you're in the underwater city. Then there's like
Yeah.
sea monsters. Like it gets
Right, it
crazy.
gets
Like
Yeah,
what
it's
is
just
going on?
the plot was just all over the place.
And then
like,
and then they end up on Tatooine, and that's when you get like obviously you get young Anakin and Shmi and all that, and like the pod racing part isn't horrible. It's cool to see Jabba again.
I like the
obviously.
pod race. I think of the stuff on Tatooine. I think that's the best part.
Yeah,
of
that's I
Tatooine.
would say too. Like the pod racing to me is like the most fun part of the Tatooine arc. Is just like okay, I actually kind of like seeing this. It's cool to get the callbacks too. You see like C-3PO like when he was still being built.
I don't understand
think-
why he's building protocol droid.
Yeah,
don't
that's.
get
I
it.
mean, it just kind of
I
makes
think
no
they
sense.
couldn't figure out
How
how
to put-
C-3PO was going to fit into
Fit it.
this.
yeah, they like
It
yeah,
would've
fuck
made
it. We gotta
more
get him there
sense if
somehow.
He was building
like-
C-3PO for the racist guy.
Yeah,
who
to be
flies
sold, I
around.
think.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
his name is, like that's the most racist. There's some racist characters in these prequels too, by the way. But that guy
Watto,
whatever his
yeah.
name is, like,
Yeah,
The
it
slave
made
owner.
more sense if he was building it for Watto, like instead of his mom.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
why
just
does
to
mom
build
need
it,
a
like-
protocol droid? What is she like? She's
Yeah.
going to the like. I don't know.
It was pretty cool too. Like when I first watched it, I was like, "Damn!" Like, I was like, "Padme is like acting like a servant." Like,
Yeah.
she had, like it is, and it does make sense.
That's a
that you,
cool bit,
It is.
actually,
Like, it does
you
make
know.
sense that you would not put the most important person on the where you could be easily seen. You kind of just
Right.
sneak around. But I was like confused at first. I was like, wait, so
I'm
like, I
like-
was like, who is Padme actually?
And there's
Like,
a
wait
couple
minute.
times I don't
Yeah.
even know who's who.
No, that's what I'm
They're
saying,
really
like-
good at using her and what's her face from.
I was so
Pirates of the Caribbean.
confused. I was like, bro, I was like,
Yeah.
who is who? I was like, I can't tell them apart. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no.
Then you got Anakin asking if she's an angel on Tatooine. Man, it gets crazy. Obviously, the best part of the movie is Darth Maul's fight.
I think, I'm gonna be honest.
I agree.
The Tatooine part I loved, the movie, like you get Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn, they fight for a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, like hold
That's
on,
a
they
great
turned it.
fight.
I'm
It
like,
is
yo,
a
they
great fight.
turned
It's a
up.
great fight. Ray
That's what I'm
Park, Ray
saying,
Park
like-
is Darth Maul, man. He does an amazing
That's what I'm
job.
saying. They turn it up, and then the fucking plot, the arc, the shit goes right back down to the drain.
Well, they had to
Like,
find some way for him to say, when I met your father, he was already a good pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to figure out ways. So let's have him pod race. And then we'll have him just accidentally blow up the goofy donut.
Yeah,
ship
the
at
thing that
end.
destroys all the droids.
Yeah.
You know, what is happening? We are blowing up from the inside. Like, I just can't, like, you know, I do like, although there is one thing about that movie, can we just comment about he's on screen in his first 10 seconds and he is a boss from the minute that he shows up on screen. And that is R2-D2. R2-D2 rocks
Yes.
up in that movie.
Yeah, he does.
And he has the best first scene of any character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, he just comes
Yeah.
in, he's like, he turns his head, and the ship's about to blow
Blow
up.
up.
It's like, why is R2 already
And it's so funny, too,
so
because, like-
friggin' cool in his first scene?
They literally throw him out, and they throw him in there out of nowhere too, because he's in there with all the other Astro
Yeah,
droids.
he's in
And
a
you're
bunch
like,
of other they're all
you're
dying.
not even paying attention. They're literally all getting blown apart. Then here's R2-D2. Like, all
Yeah,
right, like where
it's
did you come from, bro?
He did it. That droid did it. I love R2-D2, so I love that he just, like, his first scene, he's just a boss.
Mm-hmm.
He just, like,
Yeah.
wrecks it in that first scene.
Yeah, it has a few good points, but overall, it's really hard to fucking
I
watch
can
that whole
understand why you
movie.
get it a C. I can
Yeah,
get that.
it's-
C. I'm
Yeah,
with you.
like I said, it's definitely like I said, Darth Maul, Duel of the Fates is one of the best Star Wars themes they've made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The ending's pretty cool. Obviously, like they make it very ominous because like Qui-Gon is like you have to take the child and you have to train him and all that, and like the council's like confused about if he really is the chosen one, and the whole prophecy you kind of hear
Well,
about.
you
a little
like
bit.
the lore, though. Like, I think that they do one thing that why a lot of people would probably put it in B is because of the universe building.
Yeah.
That we're seeing, like, kind of what the old Republic was like, and we're seeing about the Senate and the politics of it, and, like, and that's a big thing that Lucas really wanted to do to make it different than the original trilogy. He really wanted this bigger, epic, and then he also had the ability to do it now with the beginning of CGI and everything. Like, and you gotta consider, too, like, how good the CGI is considering. Like, he was inventing this stuff. Like,
Right,
they were
right,
doing
right.
It, and
And-
it holds up.
And I get it, like you trying to show the fall of the Republic, but I just feel like it was just a little bit too much.
You
Like,
see that Jedi Council for the first time, but only like 2 people talk. Like, it's kind of funny, like all those characters in the back that don't really say anything.
They just like kind of look around.
like Waddle
Yeah.
or whatever her name is, like the other like the one that we get a really cool thing later on in
Yeah.
the Star Wars others the whatever the Jedi Tales of the Jedi. We finally get a background character on her, but like there's a lot of I feel like we should have got Dooku in this movie to see how Dooku becomes bad. There was a lot more that could have been in this movie that would have made it better.
yep, definitely.
All right, so now we get into Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, I'm a fan of this movie. I know a lot of people consider this another really bad one. I'm torn because
Oh man,
for what it sets
man.
for what it sets up, I want to put it in A, especially when you kind of tie in the show. But I know a lot of people don't like it that much. I'll put it in B. Because I like it more than I like Phantom Menace. I know a lot of people don't like Attack of the Clones. This is my personal ranking. I like Attack of the Clones. I will say, like, there's some really funny moments. Like, the Anakin and Padme stuff is dumb.
I brought that up in my first episode.
Yeah.
Anakin was pissing me off. That
The,
whole,
the
like,
Anakin
yo,
and Padme stuff is dumb.
that shit's dumb.
But the opening scene is very entertaining. Like, it literally opens up with, like, she lands on fucking Coruscant.
Mhm.
And the dude, I talk about this all the time when I talk about this movie. They land on Coruscant, the dude, like, it seems like there's no danger. Plane blows the fuck up. Like, why would you
why?
say anything? Like,
Yo,
you
like,
jinx
Like, you
like,
see that every time she land? Like, come on, bro. Like, oh, there's no danger to
Right,
this.
like, why would you
shit.
jinx it like that, bro? Like, he literally gets off the
Yo.
plane, like, he literally gets out of his own little ship.
Like,
First
take
thing he
care, Keira
says.
Knightley.
Yeah, like-
Thanks for helping out because you're dead now.
Why is it the first word you say on the hangar is, oh, there seems to be no danger. Plane blows up. Like, all right. Like, why would you even
like,
say
I
that?
know you're not saying that every time she get off the ship.
Right.
Nah, literally.
So,
Like,
you
come on.
and then we see, so Keira Knightley obviously dies, and then it's like, it's just so crazy to me. So, and then you get the Anakin Obi-Wan chase when they're chasing down the bounty hunter because they try to kill Padme and her thing. Anakin's already on time, and like, as soon as he meets Padme,
Oh my gosh.
like,
On
fell in love with
time.
her immediately as soon as he saw her again. Like, just being very weird. And Obi-Wan's like, yo, like you're a Jedi, like, relax. Like, stop being horny. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
Yeah.
yeah, I would put in B tier too. In my opinion, like I enjoy the movie for what it is, but like if you really like break down and shit, like it's really
I mean, it's got a lot of really corny moments. And a lot
Yeah,
of, like,
very
really
corny
cheesy.
moments.
C-3PO
Like Padme went
stuff
from
in the droid factory, and robots making. Oh, I'm beside myself. Like all the stupid
But-
one-liners
yeah,
are
but
just
it's so stupid.
bad.
Because in all honesty, too, like that's how I feel like when I watched the Clone Wars show. Like I didn't want to see the droids doing anything, bro. If I'm being honest. with you.
Yeah.
Like the
Too
droid
much-
arcs in the Clone Wars show even used to do that too. Where I'm like, bro, like I don't really like they're cool, but do I really want to see them going on an adventure?
There
right
is
now?
some cool stuff though. I mean,
Like R2 always has the better stuff. You know what I'm saying?
we get some really cool gratuitous fights.
Yeah.
We get the Obi-Wan Jango Fett fight, which I think is really good.
Well,
think
that's what I
a
was gonna
good
get
fight.
to.
I like that fight a lot. I like the Yoda fighting because we never get to see really.
We never really see him fight outside of
fight.
like, these main ones.
Again, I think Count Dooku is an incredible character.
Yeah.
I wish they would have brought him in like in the first movie to
Yep.
see how he falls. Like I think we should have seen him. Fall
It kind
in
of sucks
the
that you don't
film.
really find out Dooku's backstory really until you get Tales of the
So,
Jedi all
right.
these years later. You know what I'm saying?
and then Mace Windu mentions it. He's like, "Oh, he's a Jedi. He wouldn't." I'm like, "Oh, okay, he was a Jedi. Like he still could
Right.
pack up Padme if he wanted to."
I
Like,
do. I
Yeah.
think like the stuff on when they go back to her planet. And
Yeah, that's when it kinda
the
gets, like-
floating potatoes and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's just cringy. Like
No, I hate
Yeah.
sand. Like, come on now.
I
Like,
hate
I
Yo,
hate sand.
literally.
It's rough and
everything.
coarse and it gets
Them-
heavy.
But
Them
you
is-
need him to go back to Tatooine for the mother scene, and he's like that
Well,
scene's pretty
that's what I'm saying.
damn
Like,
good.
like, honestly, like if the Naboo scene was cut, the movie would be a lot more highly praised. That Naboo stuff is a lot.
They don't need him
Yeah.
like.
Falling in love with.
Them
We don't need
two-
to see it
We
all.
need
No.
them to fall in love, but we don't need like the floating potato,
Potatoes,
and
like-
the CGI elephant sitting on them,
Yeah,
and all
no.
that other silly stuff. Like there's a lot. There's too much of
No,
that.
no,
Like,
no,
if
my-
you could have done one but not both.
My favorite part
Like,
of the
you
Naboo
need
scene
both those scenes.
is when it's dark as hell out. She's sitting by the fireplace in a crazy, sexy outfit, trying to tell him that she don't like him. Why would you put on your sexiest outfit to curse somebody?
Like, come on, man.
what? Like, bro, she literally got her sexiest outfit on to tell Anakin that she don't like
You're
him
like,
like that.
yeah, I'm gonna go put on some lingerie to tell you the
Yeah,
back.
right.
what?
Come on, bro.
like,
Them
bro,
two,
I forgot about that. It's funny that
their
you thought-
dynamic was just.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
it
I
was
totally
a crazy
forgot
movie.
about
It
that.
was,
Bro,
it was
she's
just
literally
crazy.
like they're literally
Why
in
are
the
you attracted to me?
they're in the mood lighting room, bro. She got like a tight ass dress on, bro, and like her hair's done up real nice. Like, why are you dressed like that though?
To go to
the first
sleep.
place.
You're going to
Yes,
sleep. Like,
thank you.
Take
You're
some
going to
take your
sleep.
makeup off, put a
Like,
sweatshirt on.
You're going to
Right.
sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
unless you do some, I don't know.
Anakin,
Like,
I can't be with you, but look how
Go
nice
to
I
the
look.
gym
Right.
and then like have that. Go
I-
work out or something.
Like,
you know, be
you
all-
doing that to go to sleep. Their dynamic is crazy. Like, I
It
ain't
is,
like,
it really
and then with
is.
Anakin, like, okay, I get they were trying to like push like to make his turn in the third one, but like all you've been doing is simping for Padme. Like,
No,
how the
word.
fuck did you turn up and start
But
killing?
it's
I
funny
mean,
because
I
that
get
even
it. You,
happens in Clone Wars too, though. Like they have to keep that going, and like clearly they do some things where Obi-Wan knows, but he's like,
Why? There's a
he
deleted
got
scene.
faith in Anakin. He's like, okay, Anakin's gonna turn.
There's
around.
definitely a
Like,
deleted
Anakin's
scene in
gonna-
the third one though, where he basically acknowledges and tells Padme,
Yes,
like, "Hey, listen,
yes.
I knew you were doing this with Anakin the whole time."
Yeah.
And like, so like their dynamic, like on the Naboo stuff is done, but like once they leave Naboo and he starts having the visions about his mom,
Yeah.
and they finally go to Tatooine, the movie does pick up for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously you get the scene
I agree with
where
Yeah.
he's there, his mom's been taken by the Tuskens. He goes and he slaughters all of them. Like, I know a lot of people make fun of Hayden Christensen for the scene where he basically like talked about how he slaughtered them all. I do think he was very good in that scene. It felt convincing. Your mother just died. You took out your anger.
I
We
think
already
he's
showed
really
your
good.
I
mean,
do
he's
too.
got some shit lines to work with
I
in
was
a
gonna
couple
say,
scenes.
and that's what kills me too is like like these guys. I think people forget that when these actors act, they're not doing this on their own. They're given a script. You
Yeah,
have to
th-
say
I don't
what's
know what
given.
the
George
editor
Lucas
does.
literally
There could've
told
been a
him to
better
act like
take
that.
for all you know,
Yeah,
because the
that's what I'm
editor
saying.
didn't
Like,
use
you know,
it.
like the actor could have literally the best take, and George Lucas was like, I don't like that one. I think this is
you
better.
need to be a little bit more nerdy, like a little bit more.
Like Natalie,
cringe, I
Natalie
guess.
Portman talks about that how like after the first couple movies, nobody wanted to hire her to do anything else because like they were like, oh, you act in Star Wars, they were horrible in Star Wars, so like
Yeah.
you're not getting no movie roles. But Hayden Christensen always, that's why it's cool to see Hayden Christensen get all the love he gets now because I do
Yeah.
think he was a lot better than people give him credit for.
Definitely.
What do you
Right.
think of the scene with the battle when the clone troopers show up and then the Jedi show up? What do you think of all that?
I do think that's a fun one, but once again. So it's cool to see Mace Windu show up. He cuts off Jango Fett's head. Boba Fett obviously sees that, which sets up Boba Fett for later on, especially if you watch the Clone Wars show, because Boba Fett does try to get revenge on Mace in the show. But it's cool, but at the same time, it's just kind of like I don't know. Like I feel like it could have been done better. I guess maybe too to kind of just show the Jedi show up,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of
I
just
like
like,
that
oh hey.
I like that they showcase that everybody thinks like they're like the Jedi are just so damn good, and then they're
Yeah.
like, wow, they're getting their asses.
You know what I'm saying? Like
because
like-
they're not used to this. They just been like, it's all been on
People-
their reputation. For
Yeah.
a really long. and they're not all like really powerful. A lot of them are like not every Jedi is equal in their ability.
In their ability
Most
to
of
do
those
shit.
regular guys that have a little bit more force sensitivity. They're not all Anakin.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
Obi-Wan is not supposed to be the most powerful Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
He just happens to have trained with the most powerful Jedi, so he's just really
Yeah.
good at the lightsaber because he had to be. Like, but I mean, I do like the fact that a lot of them just got their asses.
Yeah, well, see, like, what's I'm saying? Like,
You
they
know.
show up and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, they're gonna save the day. They don't really save the day.
They don't
though.
really, yeah. But
Although
you
there
brought
is
up
that stupid line, like where they had to give like Mace Windu a line. He's like, "This pout is over."
Yeah.
And I always felt he should have
What?
just let him say
Alright,
the
man.
MF line because
Like,
you know he wanted to say
Yeah,
that.
you
like,
know how
like,
Samuel
like
Jackson
Pulp
is, man.
Fiction.
I
You
ain't gonna
know,
lie, if that wasn't Samuel L. Jackson, he would not be moving like that. They would have just he probably would have said
his
two
pout
lines.
is over,
Right.
motherfucker.
Oh, you know,
Like, he
literally.
needed to drop the F bomb there. You know,
And so like it definitely does get cool. Like I said, when they show up, that obviously you get the really unnecessary thing where they rip off Padme's midriff on her t-shirt, so her stomach's
Yeah,
exposed the whole
right.
time. Because nothing says ready for war like having your entire stomach exposed. And then you get the whole thing, and then oh my god, bro, when they're flying in the ship to go catch Dooku, and she falls out the damn ship,
Like-
and Anakin was about to hop on shit with the clone troopers.
I'm like-
he's like stop the ship, like bro, like you have a supervillain getting away.
Like, come
Right.
on,
Like,
man.
like focus on your Jedi.
But that's not,
ability.
like Obi-Wan. Like you see shit like that, and you don't like get on his ass more about like I don't know,
Obi-Wan
man.
let Anakin get away with too much, man. That's really
He
what
let
it
away with too
But
much.
the ending scene
Right.
is really cool. Yoda fighting. So obviously Anakin thinks he can handle Dooku, and he can't yet. Gets his arm chopped off, which sets up that. But Yoda fighting Dooku was cool.
Yeah.
Seeing that, watching Yoda does. That's the first time he showed you he catches the Force lightning, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
In this one, yeah. So Yoda to see Yoda like for as much as he's hyped up.
You still have my former apprentice.
Yes, exactly. So it's cool to actually see Yoda like be Yoda instead of just being told about
Yeah,
it.
he
the whole
just
time.
jumps around and he just like brings his cane back. To him.
Right,
Yeah.
He's like, ah, back to limping around now.
So it actually is cool to see Yoda like actually get used and all that. So I say Attack of the Clones, for as much bad as there is and as much cheesiness as there is, I do like it.
Yeah,
and I can still
I
find
enjoy
myself
it.
watching it time to time. But you know what? Now we get into peak. No.
Yep.
All right, Mercedes. Where is Revenge of the Sith in your tier list? Don't disappoint me.
It better be an S or I'm leaving.
Literally.
It's an ass. I'm just joking. It's an ass.
You're gonna make us think. Revenge of the Sith, man.
all
Where
know
do
why.
I start? Because this is where the fun begins.
Yes. The fight on
Everything about this
Mustafar-
movie is good. No, you're jumping
No,
ahead. You're jumping ahead.
No, we
The
gotta
op-
get to it.
All right.
No.
The opening scene, man. Like, come on now. Like, it literally
You
starts.
get
off-
everything you need in an opposite scene.
No, you
that,
do. You
That
really
whole space sequence, like that sequence. I know a lot too much about this shit, but like that scene was going to be so complicated. Like literally, like George called up Steven Spielberg and said, "I don't know how to direct this scene.
Right.
I need your help." Like he didn't get a credit, but he just came in and he like helped him plan out the whole scene, like all the shots, because he says, "You've done epic shit. Like I need help.
I need help
doing an
to make it
thing."
epic, right?
And that scene is incredible, from the spaceship stuff, like the epic size of the war, and then just all the stuff that happens when they fight Dooku. I just think that it's really
Yeah, like that whole opening scene is just like awesome. And like, I will say real quick too, because I know we'll talk a little bit about it after. But like, the Clone Wars show does make all this seem so much better.
Sure.
When you watch the Clone Wars show, especially the last season, when they start getting into that, where you're seeing what Ahsoka's going through at the same time that this is all going on, does make it 10 times better. So if you've seen the show and then you watch Revenge of the Sith, this is why this movie is an S ranking. In all honesty, like, it was good before, but when Clone Wars really builds on the lore that you see in the movie, it makes it even better. But that whole opening scene, I'm a big Grievous guy. Did we bring his Funko?
Yeah.
Yeah, big Grievous guy. Your lightsaber would make an excellent addition to my collection. Like, the whole opening scene is just super cool. Dooku's fight is obviously awesome. You get Palpatine, do it. You know what I'm saying? It's super great, and to see Anakin kind of battle with himself, but then still listen
Yeah.
to Palpatine in the end, even though he knows he shouldn't kill Dooku, and he still does it anyways. Like, did it really? The only reason you killed him because he took your hand. Palpatine's like, he took your hand, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
what?
he's trying to like, yeah, remember he took your hand, remember that?
Remember he
Like,
cut
you know?
your arm off, bum?
Yeah,
They
like, you know what I
found
mean?
some way still to put in the camaraderie that they are brothers.
Yeah.
They kept that in there, and just a little bit like, like where Obi-Wan's gonna say something and Anakin's like, leave R2 alone.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
trying.
like,
he's
he's-
like, I wasn't gonna say nothing. Like, and Anakin won't leave Obi-Wan, but like Palpatine wants him to leave.
To leave Obi-Wan.
He's
yeah.
like, no,
He's like,
his
I'm not.
fate will be ours. Like,
Yeah.
he's my bro. Like that. I mean, we see there are some really and again, R2 like just taking out the two barrel.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's always a highlight,
"Whoa!" Like
bro.
I like he's flying. He's like like you mess with the wrong asteroid. Like I mean, I just love that we get a little bit of that, and we don't go into so dark right away. We find ways of like that. Which makes the end of the movie so much better because obviously we don't have Clone Wars,
right.
So we know like they are close and they're on a different path, and I think that's why the movie works.
Yeah, and so obviously like eventually they crash on Coruscant, and obviously all the senators are there waiting at this point. He's like, nah, I'll catch up with y'all later. My boo hiding behind the column.
Yo,
over there.
hold up. Let's talk about that. The whole scene. First of all, somebody told Padme that Anakin was about to die. What inside source did you like? Is
Right, while it's
is
happening.
Adrian
Yeah,
Wojnarowski in the damn fucking galaxy?
Nah, it was shams.
Like, gotta be. Like, who told you that Anakin was finna die? My son was going crazy that whole episode, or that whole start. And then, y'all trying to keep it hidden. Y'all damn near in the big... Oh, my goodness, bro. So, you pick her up, you hug her, you kiss her.
They're
In
damn
about a
near
10
open.
minutes. It's like a 5-10 minute scene. Like, y'all trying to keep that hidden, by the way?
Yeah.
Like, all right, man. So...
And then you get the bomb that she's pregnant, and he's like, and he's happy about it. He's lying.
Right?
Nah, but is it so? What happens after that? They go straight to the Jedi Council after that, right? And they tell him he won't be granted the rank of
won't be
master,
granted-
man.
Yeah,
He was tight.
he was. Oh my
Man,
god.
that boy Anakin was really mad as hell, son. And then like
That was
it's just so
bad.
weird to me too, because like I know Palpatine's obviously setting this all up the whole time, but like you got the clones and like they really talk about the politics. Obviously, I know you said that it's kind of like the trouble with this one's like they really talk about the politics of all of it. And this one, we're like, now that Dooku's dead, we only need to get Grievous. If we get Grievous, the war's gonna end. Like we gotta take care of that. They sent Obi-Wan to go get him. And they just leave Anakin here, man. Like, nobody here likes
right.
Anakin but Obi-Wan. Like, why would you leave Anakin by
Yeah,
himself?
I don't
by
know,
himself.
man.
Yeah.
Like, go send Mace Windu to go do something.
Right, so that's like, do you leave Anakin here, and Anakin is like getting like, literally, he's getting more visions of Padme dying and all that, and it's like he's like clearly going through it.
They don't trust him, but they send him to spy on somebody they don't
Yeah, that's
trust.
what I'm saying.
as
Like, you
well.
don't trust the Palpatine, but you also don't trust Anakin. So why would you send him?
You don't.
And obviously, like that is like a really cool scene. It's one of my favorite ones in the movie. Is when he tells him this the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yep.
That's honestly super cool to see Palpatine basically like show his hand.
Yeah, I don't know what they were watching during that scene.
No, like the bubbles.
Like fucking
Like
bubbles.
mad
and-
water bubbles in the air. Like,
Yeah,
all right, man. Like,
that
I don't
shit
know
was
what's
real
what's-
entertaining. Like, clearly you there for fucking vicious intentions. Like,
Yeah,
you're
but
not there to
that scene
watch
is like
it.
one of my favorite because I Palpatine, like I said, is to me one of the best villains ever, and like because he's just purely evil. Like, there's nothing good about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like villains that are actually just purely evil, and to see basically him manipulate Anakin the way he does more and more, and like basically tell Anakin who he is. He basically snitched on himself. Anakin's just like, okay. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like-
Like,
Yeah, he does
I
that.
mean, he just does not do it until he finally puts two and two together later
Yeah.
on, and then when he confronts him, he's like, nah, like yeah, I'm gonna take you to the Jedi Council. I'm not killing you.
That's what I'm saying.
Like-
Like, it's just, I don't know, man. And then you go tell Mace Windu. Mace Windu still is like, oh, really? Like, kind of like, are you sure? And then
Right,
after he
dude.
finally fucking convinces him, he goes back and like, did I make the right decision? Like, yo, if you was really on that time, you would have just killed him right then and there.
Or I say like I say,
Like,
or you would have just
thank
took him in your damn
Right.
self.
Like, come on,
Like
bro.
actually, like you know what I'm saying? To actually like go and tell somebody that already doesn't like you that the Chancellor is evil.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. And then obviously like so this is when we start to actually get to like the climax of the movies and all that. And obviously I love the scene where on the other planet where Obi-Wan fights Grievous. And all that, hello there, all that, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that callback. That is really cool. You see the clone show up. Like, I forget which regiment his is. I know it's the orange one. I just don't know exactly which regiment that is.
I always
And
forget
I
that.
think it's like I don't know if it's like the 505 or
I
505.
think it's the 50.
Because I know 501st is obviously Anakin's, like the blue ones, but I don't know if like they're 505 or
Yeah.
I think 505. I feel like that sounds right, but obviously you have that going on, and like he does chasing Grievous on that thing is funny as fuck. Because Grievous is in this big ass wheel and he's riding like a giant lizard.
Right.
Yeah,
Like where was
word.
your big wheel at, man?
Right.
Word,
Exactly.
man.
like,
Mm,
like I don't feel like this is
yeah.
really very matched.
No.
And the way he kills Grievous is kind of funny too because like he has to kill him with a gun, which he thinks is primal. You know what I'm saying? But Grievous kind of goes down kind of easy, which sucks because I'm a Grievous guy. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, he was
I
sick
agree
too.
for
He
it.
was sick. I guess he
He
was
was
dying.
coughing,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
Ebola,
could-
I don't know what's going on. So.
And then so obviously then you get to the good stuff. It always makes me laugh when I watch Revenge of the Sith because when Mace Windu shows up with Kit Fisto and the other Jedi, I forget which other one he shows up with, they put in zero work.
Yo.
Yo.
They literally pull they pull out their lightsabers and then get slaughtered. And like
Yeah.
I know people have like tried to say that like the scream that Palpatine does when he spins at them is like a Sith trick. freezes them up or whatever. I'm not hearing that. Like they just get killed quick. Like you
Yeah,
just,
either-
you just
the
wanted a
only-
1v1 with Mace Windu.
Your only excuse is like, okay, they thought arresting him, like they probably wasn't even ready to fight. They like, yo, he gonna surrender. When they they probably shitted themselves.
I
Yo,
swear to God,
when he
they
pulled
did.
it-
Scared.
Well, I forget what Palpatine says before the fight happens, like, but he says something before he pulls his lightsaber out, and it's funny as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. 'Cause I think he an old ass fucking. I forgot what was it, the damn Senate, whatever it was.
He's
Yeah.
the chancellor.
So
now,
he
but-
chancellor. He's the chancellor. So you thinking this old ass man
I
like he just
feel
gonna
like
surrender?
the Jedi that go with him die way too easy.
That's
Yeah,
what
way
I'm
too
saying.
easy.
Like
Like
the
they
Jedi
could have
that-
made that.
You
scene
could have
better, like,
sidelined him for a little
couple of
bit.
His,
Bring him back.
Could have showed up, and you could have had
Right.
a better scene. Like
Like I
that
said-
scene could have been a little bit better.
It's Kit Fisto and the other one. I forget the name of the other one that he brings with him, but like they both get killed by Palpatine.
He's got Kid Fisto, and I forget the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but,
could have
like, so
sidelined him, bring him
fast,
back
like-
in the
I am the
fight.
Senate.
Like there could
Yes,
have
I
been.
am.
I am the Senate.
He tells him I am the Senate
am the
before.
Senate.
Yeah, like and then just
like,
slaughters
that
them.
was
Man.
fucking
Like,
packed them up. I know because you gotta think like, bruh.
They just
I-
wanted
I'm
to have
trying
Mace
to, I'm trying to
Windu.
give him an excuse. Like you know what I mean? Like okay, old ass man. Like he really
There's
don't
no
got it.
excuse. They
He
got
fucking
worked.
screamed and spun at the same time.
And they got
They
worked.
probably was like, oh shit, and just gave up.
I would have gave
Got
up. Though. I'm not
dropped.
gonna lie. If an old white man spins at me with a lightsaber,
and screams and,
With the
and
scream.
start.
Whew.
I'm like, yo, but you gotta think it's what 4 or 5 of them.
no, it was
like,
it was
And they all got
3. It
worked.
was Mace. We had Mace Windu, who was supposed to be like one of the strongest Jedi.
yeah, it was like
He didn't
so,
even defend him.
yeah, it was like
No.
3. So you would think okay, 3
My
Jedi
thing
versus
is
1
always
Sith.
that what I think a big part of it is too is the Jedi are just so conceited.
Yeah.
They're just so impressed with themselves and what they are that they can't, and they just never see the warning signs at all. And you see this in Clone Wars, like well done, that they just don't really, their conceit or their hubris or whatever it is, they just don't really have a sense of like, they just can't see what's going on around them because
Yeah.
they just are closed off to it because they can't believe that
They see what they want to see.
yeah, right. So even though yes, they're so powerful in the Force, but I think again we see this in the lore that they just don't, which makes sense because they've been ruling for 10,000 years.
Yeah, nobody's
Sons
ever-
of
yeah,
Dawn and all
nobody's
that
pushed
stuff.
them, so-
they don't believe
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
and they don't. They kind of sense, but they think, oh, we can do this. Like, and that's why it's kind of like, that's why the scene only works because I think Mace Windu goes in there like, this will be easy. Like, you know.
And so after that, so we obviously get Mace Windu, and he gets Palpatine on the ground, and he's holding the Force lightning back, and Anakin shows up, and he's like, "It's not right. You know, we have to keep him alive. We have to take him. And this and that." Mace Windu was like, "Nah,
Yeah, fuck
I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
own thing."
Yeah. Right?
Raises his lightsaber, gets his hand cut off, gets blasted out the window, infinite power, all
Yeah,
that.
go on.
And
That's it.
it's just really crazy like how all that goes. And so obviously this is when Anakin basically turns to the dark side. Like this is Anakin's full turn to the dark side starting here. He gets named Darth Vader, and it's Execute Order 66. All that obviously one of the best scenes that Star Wars has done as
Yes.
far as showing how the Jedi are massacred the way they are. And I like this build up to, like I said, why I think that Clone Wars makes this movie so much better. Is there's so many moments in Clone Wars that show Anakin's anger brewing, and every single time they show it in the show, there's the Imperial March in the back.
Yeah,
There's like,
the subtle
there's some type of
music in the
subtle
back.
hint
Yeah.
towards his turn to Darth Vader at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even the way they betray Ahsoka, like
Yeah.
like they just
Yeah.
like there's so many times that he's just so frustrated with the structure of everything, and it's kind of, it does make sense. Like it and we always say that I feel like Anakin's arc, everything is redeemed because Clone Wars fills in all those gaps.
Yeah, and that's definitely what it is. Like
Especially season 7, those last
though they say when they
episodes,
start naming
whatever
the
it is.
parts and all that,
Yeah, like,
obviously
it's
that
just
really
crazy.
brings it all together.
Crazy
But like,
good.
there's so many parts in like Clone Wars, like he force chokes somebody even when he's not supposed to. He kills a guy that he's not supposed to, and the slavers and all that. Like you clearly see the anger. Like the one dude has a crush on Padme, and he beats him up. Like,
Yeah, fucking.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he like there's a lot of moments that show you Anakin is not quite what he seems in. So obviously he becomes Darth Vader. He goes to the temple. Still one of the cool, like the Anakin's betrayal theme is another one.
man.
Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
big on soundtracks, so I know all the names of most of the ones. Another great soundtrack for that part as he slaughters the younglings and he kills the other Jedi in the temple. And then he goes to Padme, and Padme falls for the whole, "No, I'm not doing anything wrong. The Jedi betrayed us."
Padme.
Why can't you see
downfall-
anything?
Padme was so serious in the first movie. I'm like, okay, she on her shit. Like, I
That's
saw
probably
Anakin
my
like her,
only
she
real
just-
major criticism of 3 is that Padme is just like a pregnant lady.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
it. Like
can't,
she don't
like,
she don't fight
She
nothing
can't,
back.
she, like, like it's just like she went from being so strong and everything, and then like this movie, she's just kind of this weak.
It's whatever.
They
Like,
kind of like it's almost like they didn't know what to do with her in the third movie.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So like like so Anakin gets told by Palpatine, like, basically, like, hey, listen, go kill all the people, the Separatists that are left on Mustafar. Go handle that. And it's so cool to see, like, as all this is happening, too, like, obviously, when you see Clone Wars, you see Yoda feels it in the Force. Yoda's, like, on Kashyyyk because he's battling with the Wookiees, and he, like, senses the clones turn on him, and he, kills them, and he feels it in the Force that all these people are dying and all that, and all this stuff is going wrong. And it's cool to see all that across all the media that they show, because we've seen Order 66 now, like, 5 times. Right. Mando shows it. Clone Wars shows it. Obviously, Revenge of the Sith. Mando shows it a couple times, especially when you find out that Grogu obviously was there and survived
Kenobi.
it. Yep. Kenobi shows it too. Yeah. So we've seen it. We've seen Order 66 a bunch, and it's
they
always cool.
show it in like the last episode of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like that, whatever that episode is, where like we see it from Ahsoka's perspective and everything she goes through with Rex.
Yeah, say like she's literally in like the
Bad Batch.
And every hallway scene, every hallway scene is compared to Vader's. I guess Darth Maul fucking was Vader-esque hallway scene. Like,
this
shit was fire though.
With no lightsaber,
this shit was fire though.
But you know what
I mean, so yeah. I fuck with Revenge of the Sith heavy.
It is a very, very good movie. Like I said, obviously the people what people remember the most is the Mustafar scenes. You know what I'm saying? Anakin's turned to the camera and he's got the yellow eyes now. Still an awesome shot to see. His fight with Obi-Wan. Obviously, I have the high ground. Very iconic stuff. Seeing Darth Vader get made and he finds out Padme's dead and he yells no. Yeah. This is a great movie, man. Like, I love Revenge of the Sith.
I will say about the trailer though. I watched the trailer. I'm like, yo, if I was like about to watch it in theaters, them motherfuckers put the whole damn movie in the trailer.
The thing is, unfortunately, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know that he has to lose like his legs and an arm because you already know
what Vader has. Yeah,
like, you already kind of know. But I agree with that. Like, I remember watching that trailer, and then we always kind of knew what was going to happen. You know that he's going to become Darth Vader, and you know that, like, we just don't know what's going to happen to Padme and the kids. We know they're going to have to end up where they end up. I always thought that Padme was going to live longer because, like, of goofy things that are in the script and stuff.
And there was always, like, some really cool, like, stuff, too. It's funny because, like, when Obi-Wan and Anakin argue before they fight, I used to be able to recite that word for word. Like, when Obi-Wan hops off the ship with him and Anakin. So I used to be able to memorize like the entire thing. I couldn't.
Obi-Wan's speech at the end, like the 2 speeches that he has, are great.
The Obi-Wan speech when Order 66 happens.
Only Sith speak in absolutes.
Yeah.
And, I will do what I have to protect.
Yeah, I'll do what I must and all that to like.
But then that second scene where he's like, "You are supposed to bring balance."
Yeah, Ewan McGregor's
he's heartbroken, and then it sets up why he's so upset in Obi-Wan.
In Obi-Wan, exactly. So like I said, it's really cool to see how that works, and Revenge of the Sith is just a great movie. It deserves its S ranking for at least me. I know a lot of people don't like the prequels. Like, a lot of people probably would have it like a C or something like that.
These are higher now than they would have been.
Exactly. I think now that people appreciate them a little bit more, it is definitely better now. All right, so we're gonna do Solo next. I'm not a huge Solo guy, but Damon, it is your turn to rank, so you go ahead.
I'm gonna go B. I think
B.
I'm gonna go B. I think Lando, Chewbacca were good.
I will say my favorite part of the movie. I like the guy that they recasted as Han.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, I didn't really go in there with much expectations, so I like nothing really blew me away. But I definitely think like it was like street level type. I don't think it's like such thing as fucking street level star. I mean, I guess it is, but like it wasn't nothing.
There was no like magic.
It wasn't.
Or, like,
it wasn't nothing.
Like that.
It wasn't nothing too crazy. So I fuck with it. I definitely fuck with it.
Yeah, Solo. I only saw it like once or twice. I mean, I do like. It's definitely an enjoyable Star Wars movie. Like I think it got a lot of hate because people were mad they recasted Han Solo. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Harrison Ford's not in it. Screw you. Like Harrison Ford's only 70 years old in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, let's bring him back.
Yeah, like, but I say it was fun. Like I said, to see how Han and Chewbacca meet and see like Han's kind of like backstory. Emilia Clarke's character was pretty interesting. The villain was kind of lackluster. I know it's Vision's actor. I just don't remember who he was. Seeing Darth Maul at the end was cool, and you find out that like. Emilia Clarke's character was like basically like working with Darth Maul a little bit. Obviously, you wouldn't know Darth Maul was alive if you didn't watch Clone Wars. Yep. You'd be like, "What the hell happened?" But yeah, Solo's fun. Rogue One. All right, man. S tier.
You rate it if you want.
That's you. Wait.
Oh no, it is you. Yeah, Mercedes.
It's me.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm gonna rank it a S.
Okay.
Because. Thank you.
I agree, because Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie. The scenes
they're just, the way they go together, they're perfect. Just everything falls together perfectly in the movie. Going throughout all the scenes, like the fighting, what they all had to go through, seeing them seeing the Death Star go off and blow up the entire planet that they're on, and they're just kind of sitting there with each other, because they can't do much about that.
Yeah.
So there's really
Kind of just like how they have to accept their fate.
they
They
have
know
to
that
accept
they
it.
helped the rebellion as
Yeah.
much as they could. Yeah. Rogue One is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would probably say it's my favorite Star Wars movie. And I
Yeah,
said this on the podcast
definitely.
a couple weeks ago. Rogue One to me, I feel like it has a good balance. For the most of the movie, you're really just dealing with the rebellion. There's not a lot of Force users. There's not mention of anybody else. Darth Vader does show up later on in the movie.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like this because this is why I feel like a lot of people like Andor too. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more grounded. There's not a lot of Force stuff or anything like that. I love Jyn Erso's character. I love the fact that she really has to deal with the fact that her dad basically helped build the Death Star. Like that's a guilty feeling to have. Like your dad was really a main reason why the Empire holds power over the entire galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So to see her kind of deal with that, and then to see her trying to join the rebellion, and they don't trust her because of who her dad is. What's his damn name? Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a really cool character.
Saw Gerrera's really good.
Yeah, he is. He's very good
Definitely.
in the
Very good.
movie, and to kind of see like how they all get captured on the one planet where they're all mining the kyber crystals. You need the kyber crystals to fire off the Death Star, and I think director Krennic is a very underrated villain. He does really only want the gratification of being like, hey, listen, look what I did.
Mm-hmm.
But it is cool to see that he literally was willing to do anything to get what he wanted. And you see Grand Moff Tarkin, even though he was passed away this time, so it was a CGI face.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see a character from the original trilogy again.
And we got Vader scene when he was like putting his mask on.
Put the mask on
like
inside
that.
the tube. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like there's like a lot of really good moments in Rogue One. I forget the robot's name. The robot's probably the highlight.
K2.
Yeah, K2. He's probably the highlight.
Yeah.
I know that's probably what a lot of people like the most about it. And I think what Rogue One does the best for me is that it shows you that these people were so tired of being oppressed that they were willing to do anything
Yeah.
because none of the main cast survives. They all died to complete the mission.
Which is crazy you said that because, shout out my boy Lang. He said Rogue One should get a sequel. I said, what the fuck is
There's
the sequel
literally
going to be
no
about?
point.
The
Rogue
Death
One-
Star?
I was gonna say,
Right.
right? What the
The
fuck?
character-
If you want a sequel to Rogue One, go watch A New Hope.
Well, it's funny because
Yeah,
when this
literally.
movie came out, movie was coming out, I'm like, they're just doing a Dirty Dozen, which is one of my favorite old time movies of all time. Like, everybody's gonna die. Like, they all have to die. Like, they have to die because they're the guys that got the Death Star plans. And so they're going to die, but you don't know the extent of the characters that we're going to meet. But that they all know that they're kind of all on a path, and
Yeah.
it's neat. And literally, I love that this movie literally goes right in.
To New Hope.
Hope, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
It
saying?
literally
Like,
goes.
the way that it connects, there's no time jump nor like that. This movie is really happening at the same
And
time.
that Darth
New
Vader, that last 10 minutes,
Oh, don't even get me started. man. I'm
that
getting
is just so good.
My
We finally
favorite.
got the Death Vader live action that we wanted to see.
The
whole ending is super cool to see them
Yeah.
on the planet and they destroy the thing. But man, I'm telling you, when
You get Senator
when you get put on that,
Organa, you get
everybody. It's so cool to see all these characters that are gonna be important. You know what I'm saying? But when they get to that last little 10-15 minutes, man, and it gets dark on the
In
ship,
the hallway.
and these
Got
motherfuckers
that
is in there
hallway,
panicking,
Trying to get out.
and it's all
They can't
dark,
get out.
and then he turns his lightsaber on, bro. I was
You hear
like,
the
what?
breathing.
I remember seeing that shit for the first time. I was geeked. I was like, bro, there's no way. This is Darth Vader doesn't none of that.
I was speaking a whole new language.
No,
I'm like,
I
this
swear.
dude.
No, I swear.
I swear.
I was Vader's biggest fan when that happened. I could not believe how exciting of a scene that was to see him actually go out there and dominate. I know
Yeah.
obviously he wasn't fighting nobody crazy. He was fighting normal people.
Yeah.
But to see the extent of his powers.
Yeah.
They are not hitting him with a single shot. He's sticking motherfuckers to the ceiling, throwing them to the
Right.
side and all that. And you can see the genuine fear on their face. Everybody's always like, "Oh, I fear Darth Vader so much. Why do you fear Darth Vader?"
For that
That's
reason.
exactly why.
That's why.
Hashtag we need a live action Darth Vader series.
No, something, bro. I need to
Please.
see Vader go do something, man. 'cause-
Please.
Throw the flashbacks in there. Throw
Yeah,
the
please.
because he's mixed between. Is he doing not is he doing good or bad? He's fucking killing people, but he misses old life. He misses
Right.
Padme.
How does he feel?
Shit like that.
The actual
you know, like
inside
his-
of his
his
mind,
backstory.
what's he
Yeah.
thinking in his life?
Yeah.
Because man, that is just fucking Rogue One's ending is cool. It's
There's
cool
a
that
lot
it
of
goes
legend stuff with Darth Vader that where I think there's a point where he tries to kill Palpatine.
I've read stuff like that where like, he does try to
they
do
can't
it.
do it exactly like that, but there are definitely some cool things that they could do
Yeah.
if they did the Vader show. I think it'd just be too depressing. Like
It would definitely, yeah, because
It
there's nothing
would.
happy about Darth Vader, though. I mean, at the end of the day, like, this guy is literally miserable and he's being forced to do stuff
Yeah.
basically against his bidding, like his anger for what he
Well,
did before he got
yeah.
turned into Darth Vader.
He's
you
stuck
know
in
what I
that suit. He's all burnt up.
mean? And like, I mean,
he's in that.
if you read the Revenge of the Sith novelization, they literally
Yeah.
tell you about, like, he's basically in pain every time
yeah,
he's awake.
well,
he
that
can
was on the
feel all
design.
of it.
That's not a good
Yeah,
suit. Like
the
it's
suit
on
does not
like
help
purpose.
at
Well, yeah,
all.
they could have gave him a crazy suit and he'd been just as powerful as Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine wanted him to like suffer.
Suffer,
Like, he
yeah.
designed it that way.
Yeah, so that he
You know.
couldn't be
Yeah,
more
but-
powerful than him.
But Rogue One's super cool. I will say the ending, like, is kind of creepy because, like, Carrie Fisher's, like, I think she was passed away by the point this movie came out. And, like, her face, like, it just looks like reptilian. I don't know. The CGI for Carrie
It does
Fisher's
have
face.
a weird kind of Disney like princess. feel
Yes,
to
it
Yeah.
does. Like, there's
But
something
I'm
off
okay
about
with
it.
it because when she says, like hope. And
Yeah, like,
she's
it's super cool. Like I said, like, the scene itself is
rebellions,
cool.
and then even that ties in with the thing rebellions are built on hope that Jen Erso says earlier.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I
definitely don't hate
you
the
know.
scene. It's just a little creepy looking as well.
That
like-
scene's not.
Yeah.
I think the Tarkin one is worse.
Yeah, I mean, the Tarkin one definitely does. I think it's just, like, weird to think about that Tarkin.
Because the actor kind of looked enough like Tarkin. They
Tar-
could just use that guy.
Yeah, well,
Just use that guy.
that's what I hate every time they do it. Even like in Mando when they did it real quick, like when they did the Mando, Luke, or no, Book of Boba Fett when they put Luke in there, like the
Right.
dude that looked like that they had to play Luke looked enough like Luke that I could have just believed it. I didn't need to see Mark Hamill's face on it. All right. Woo!
Yeah, you know
Now
what
we
time
got
it is.
I already
y'all.
know what I'm about to start saying, but I'm gonna
You
rank
know
this one
what
real
time
quick
it is.
because I like this one. Okay,
Wait, which one was that?
this is The
I'm
Force
sorry.
Awakens. I like The Force
Force
Awakens.
You putting it?
I put it at A.
I'm alright there.
I thought
I'm
The
okay
Force
with that.
Awakens was good. The Force Awakens set up the sequel
Yeah.
series in a way that
Yeah.
they could have been successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they did after the fact that was bad.
Yeah.
The sequel series, when they started off, the movie opening is very unique. Okay, you're on this planet. They send the stormtroopers down, and a stormtrooper that doesn't want to follow rules is crazy. Because
I think he should have been a
that.
Jedi. He should have been a Jedi, in my
You
opinion.
don't see that. And then I was gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Finn literally is already like, hey, listen, mate, and they make it seem like the training they go through is intense. Like they are bred to basically be like, hey, listen, you listen to everything we say. That's it.
Well, they're taking his children.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and all
saying.
that
Like they're
stuff.
literally made into this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for the fact that he decides that he doesn't want to do it, and then like the one stormtrooper that gets shot back, like wipes the blood on his helmet. Like we got it right here.
Yeah.
Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like
And he's like stuck. Because
yeah, and then they
just
tell
saw
he
his-
he can't even shoot. Like I said,
can't
he's
shoot,
so
he
scared he
can't
can't
do
even shoot.
nothing. Yeah.
Kylo Ren's introduction was cool as hell. Like, when I
Oh,
first saw him, I was like,
crazy.
Kylo Ren, like
my
the crossblade saber, like everything about that was super dope. The voice sounded all right. Poe Dameron wasn't a bad character to start off. I hate Poe Dameron by the time the movies end.
Yep.
But Poe Dameron, when he started off, is actually a really cool character. Even how it all translates, you know what I'm saying? Like he gets captured, and we see a new Force trick. You see Kylo Ren literally like go into his mind with the Force to get him to talk, which has
Yeah.
not been seen, at least as far as I know, in any of the other movies, from what I paid attention to. And then it's like I say, all that is like cool. Even once they get to Rey, like to see Rey, like she's on this. I mean, it basically looks like Tatooine 2.0. But
Sand. They love
just
sand.
mad sand, you know that. Like you see, like the muffin that she puts water on and it grows into a muffin. Like what is good? Like
Yeah,
Star
that-
Wars stuff. And then she finds BB-8 and all that. But I think that the Force Awakens, if they would have made Finn,
And let's be honest, Harrison Ford is freaking good in that movie.
oh, he is.
Like
yes.
him in the new.
And
the
he
actor
hates
that's
Star Wars.
playing
The fact that he
Chewie,
even came back
But
is
he's
weird.
Yeah.
really good in that. Like he's got that. Like like we get to see the Millennium Falcon again. I remember we went to see it with my kid, and he was seeing somebody at the time, and I'm like, listen, when they bring the Millennium Falcon on screen, I'm probably gonna like squeal a little bit. Like I'm gonna go
Like,
crazy.
don't get embarrassed.
And we see like the Millennium Falcon like doing. We haven't seen anything like that cool since
No.
Empire Strikes Back 1980.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
You know, like it's cool what it does in Jedi, but it's like not the same as the
No,
stuff that
yeah.
we see it do. Like it because obviously you've got, and again in an atmosphere which is kind of cool. Yeah, the Chewie's great. I mean, there's some other stuff that's kind of goofy, but
I'm saying, like, you know, you get onto the ship.
the Nazi
with-
speech is kind of a little over. Like you know,
Yeah.
like
But that's it. But I'm gonna get to that too because like so you know you meet Han, you're like okay we got Han back, that's dope. You get to Maz's place, and like Rey's talking about how like you know she basically Han's kind of like the dad she never had basically. Like that's like very like quickly how it asks. Now he talks about like how you could just come with me and Chewie. Like you know she doesn't want to be on Jakku anymore, even though she thinks her parents are coming back. You know what I'm saying? And you know and then it does get a little weird to me when she goes and she touches Anakin's lightsaber. And
Which
like she gets like
I
the
don't
thing.
even want to. Don't get me started about that freaking lightsaber. Because
Yeah, I don't.
That's supposed to be his lightsaber from Bespin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did she get it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That, like one of those things, like because it literally fell out of Bespin.
Yeah, like I said,
Like
that's,
you
and that,
see
that's
it
in the.
fall out of Bespin in Empire. Like it
Yeah.
falls into like a gas giant. Like it's gone. His hand and
so
his lightsaber.
she touches
gone.
it and like she gets like the force, like the force vision or whatever, which is like kind of weird to me. And then they get attacked by the First Order, which once again is a cool scene because the First Order comes in on shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she's in the thing, she runs away with BB-8. Kylo Ren finds her, decides to take her for some reason and not the droid that they've been looking for.
Yeah,
Shout out
right?
Kylo Ren, I guess. But the scene, I will say, the scene and the hype that I got when they show the Rebel Alliance show up to save them was cool. To see all the X-Wings come in, you see that Poe is alive, you know, they're coming in, and like even like, which ties into what we're going to talk about with Finn, Finn is using the lightsaber, and he's actually doing okay with it. Like, for a guy that's never used it, or did he have the lightsaber yet, or was he using
He
it?
had it at the end.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was that or the shock baton. Right. But, yeah,
So
like
he fights the one guy with the shotgun.
Yeah,
and then
he fights
okay.
at the end with the lightsaber.
Yeah, and like say and so you know what I'm saying, and it's just like super cool to see that, and then obviously you get Carrie Fisher back as Princess Leia, and her and Han's like whole thing. Isn't that? Do we find out that Kylo Ren is their kid like right there?
Yeah.
That's when we find out, right?
Yeah.
Which is
No, yeah, we knew that all along though.
oh okay.
Like
Well, they do reference it a lot, right? Yeah. And so I know the guy in the beginning is like that's not where you came from, yada yada yada. But it is super cool to get like that kind of reveal and all that, and to see them all together. C-3PO's back. R2D2 won't turn on because Luke isn't around. Like he's tired of y'all.
it's like we got a new droid that's cute.
Right.
Yeah.
I say,
No,
dude,
I don't like
took
your
the
new,
back
I don't like your
BB-8.
new girlfriend. I like our old guy. keep my R2 back. I don't need
Yeah, I
that
think
beat.
it would have been easier to make Finn. I mean, because if you look at how Rey's fucking backstory was, like we barely got anything about it in the first one. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying, it
Finn's
just
his
feels like-
Finn shit was just right there. Like okay, he was a former clone or a former fucking kid. He got taken away from his parents. Like he has all the motives in the world to be a Jedi. Make him the Jedi. Like, but you know, they
And
made
I
Rey-
wouldn't have even been mad at because I think what makes it for me is that like I would have been cool if they made him the Jedi and have Rey just like feed into what she already is. Palpatine is already your bloodline. You already have a Sith
Yeah,
bloodline.
like.
I wouldn't even mind seeing like a dark.
But
Rey.
then again, I don't even think they had that plan until the third
They
movie.
did. There's no way they had decided that Palpatine.
Yeah,
Right.
they didn't even have that
was like,
plan. So it's
oh,
like,
crap,
They're
we
just
gotta
shoehorned
figure
it
this
in.
yeah,
out.
we gotta have her a crazy father or something. Like
Right.
come on, man. Like,
And like so that's what kills it for me. So you know, and like I do like the rest of the Force Awakens. Like Han's death is tough, especially like when you
It's
see
good,
it.
and
like,
Chewie's reaction is
I
really
was
good.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was about to say. Chewie's
And
reaction.
people like, there's no way that Rey should have been able to fight Kylo Ren, but like he did get shot like 3 times.
Yeah, so
like,
he was
or
already
whatever it
weak.
is. So like
That's why I don't
the
like that
fact that
argument.
he's weakened and he's like doing the thing where he's like punching his like wound to try
Yeah.
to like because he knows he's
Wake
not at
himself
his
up.
best. That is, I'll give them a pass on that. She's just way too good at the Force, way too quick.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
kills me is that like is probably the Force using more than anything. I don't really care if she could fight off his lightsaber because we don't even see Kylo Ren really use the lightsaber in all
Yeah.
honesty until that fight. So we don't really know. Like obviously he was trained by Luke when he was younger, yada, and all that, and he's
I will
clearly
say
a strong-
Kylo Ren is probably in these 3 movies that we're discussing now. He's the best thing in all.
yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna
easily.
say that because I
They're
feel
lucky
like
that they had Adam Driver.
E-
Yeah, Adam
with
Driver
the
was a blessing for
prequels,
these
Yeah.
with the prequels and the original, like we rooted for the main character. I didn't get no reason to root for Rey. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
I
I had no reason to root
and
for Rey.
it's not even anything against Daisy because I do like her and I think she's a good actress, but it's once again one of those things where the actors just handed something. and they
Yeah,
gotta do
she
their
doesn't
best with
lose.
it.
She doesn't go do
Be
no
able to say, like,
adversity.
there's no exactly. Let's say like,
no
there's
adversity
nothing
to
where
go
she has
through,
to fight
so-
back against at all, and it's just kind of like weird to see that. Like you know, by the end of the first one, she goes on her way to find Luke, and she finds Luke on this random planet, and like all that, and like but like, she's in a good spot. Like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
like
And
damn
then-
near like the way they had her moving. What does she need Luke for? Like she
Yeah.
can't lose. I
Like,
guess.
yeah, so
I
you
don't
could
know,
she
man.
could have took on the whole first order by herself.
Like
And
bro.
been chilling. So you know, it's definitely I don't know, man. Like I said, I do think it's a missed opportunity. I would have definitely liked to have seen Finn do a little bit more because John Boyega is a great actor. And to watch him basically take a back seat, especially in these next two films.
Oh,
I gotta,
yeah.
so I got a joke that I'm gonna say, man, because I'm not gonna lie, man. Finn might be the #1 Ray call outer in the world. That's literally all he
Nah.
does on the screen. Yeah, like he might be like he got the best Ray voice ever, because that's all he does in the next 2 movies. But okay, Damon, we're back to you, man. The Last Jedi. Go ahead, give it to us.
C.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna lie. C plus. In between C and
You're
B.
being nice.
Cause
What's
I ain't
below
gonna lie.
D? What is below D?
Whew, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the only good thing I have to say about The Last Jedi is the visuals.
The visuals was
The
good.
visuals, and like it does a few things well, but I think for the overarching story of Star Wars and what we've got, it does a lot to
fucking
basically.
You know what's
awful.
crazy about this movie is Ryan Johnson is an incredible director.
Oh, he is. Oh, he's
and I
absolutely
like
good.
Ryan Johnson's vision.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that someone was tapped him on the shoulder and said, Brian, this is a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like you went and he did there's all this crap with the Vegas planet and these we
Yo,
don't see any
that
characters.
shit
Bro,
was
I'm not
You
gonna
don't
lie.
see any
How do you
aliens
sideline
know.
characters that much?
I don't like the whatever the one woman that's like gonna teach everybody a lesson. Like we got a 2-hour Bronco chase
Yep.
in space. Like we got OJ Simpson in the one ship and there's 57 police chasing him. Like this is the space Bronco chase.
And-
There's so much wrong with this movie.
And
But I like Ryan Johnson, and like I'll say like Ryan Johnson made a really, really, really good movie that just happened to not be a Star Wars
movie. And so I will say the opening scene is probably to me the best part of the movie as far as like a scene. The very beginning, the very opening scene, and the scene with Kylo and Rey at the end were like the only scenes where I'm like genuinely was happy with the movie. And that's because the opening scene is cool to see Poe basically go out there, and although it is very cheesy, it's very Disney jokes like, oh, I need General Hugs, not General Hux.
Yeah.
Like, like this is where it takes turn to like what I said earlier when we were talking about the movies. General Hux should have been a much more imposing villain. I thought he had the chance to. He very clearly believes in the First Order, and I thought he was going to be a much bigger villain, but instead he just gets thrown around by Kylo and Snoke pretty much every time after the first movie.
Yeah, so I again like the reason why I got it so low, and I probably could have put it lower. The shit is really like I said, it just was not it shit didn't make no sense. The Luke, okay, bro, I get it. You trying to make Luke sacrifice himself, but the way he sacrificed himself was ass. Like that was your chance to really make Kylo. If Kylo Ren would have kept up with Luke, like real physical Luke, we was like, oh shit, like Kylo Ren's a problem. We 2 movies in. Rey isn't fucking. I don't care for Rey. Kylo Ren, like outside of that last scene with Rey, I don't give a fuck about. Like, Finn got sidelined. The whole shit was. I don't know.
And that's what kills it for me is that like so suddenly out of nowhere, no explanation needed, they could track through light speed.
Yeah.
You get followed through light speed. They tell
Fuel.
Snoke about it.
We're running out of gas.
Yeah, running out of gas.
I will
Yeah,
say
right.
They
wait,
never
was that
Never
Star
mentioned
Trek.
gas
Star
ever.
Trek runs out of gas.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm fine with that because Star Trek's a different. I mean, I'm a big Star Trek guy, but like we don't have gas in Star Wars.
They've never mentioned
We
that
never
shit,
seen
ever.
them go get gas, and
Ever.
all of a sudden we're running out of gas, and it just there's so and don't get me started about like I don't know who that guy is that she went to see on that planet. But that wasn't Luke Skywalker. I don't care what happened because of a misunderstanding, like that he would go and just
Become a hermit.
become a hermit and, and the stupid
And that's what
milk
kills me is
drinking
that
shit
I
and all
like
that.
the
Like,
backstory because
Ugh.
like the backstory makes a lot of sense. So okay, Luke builds the Jedi Temple. You see that in the Book of Boba Fett. He's building the Jedi Temple.
Right.
He brings in kids for the Jedi Temple. You bring in so Han and Leia have a baby. Cool. It makes sense that he would have some darkness in him still. I get that. But like to basically make the whole Jedi Temple get killed by one, say I guess the roof collapsed on Luke and he couldn't get out of it fast enough. But they killed the entire Jedi Academy.
Yeah,
Like
come
what?
on,
I get
man.
like there was some other people that helped him, but it's just so weird to me. And then like I said, for that to basically be his one reason why he like just doesn't
Just
do
fucking
anything
gives
ever
up on life.
again.
Like, come on, man.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think that you would at least, like, I'm not saying that revenge is cool and all, but, like, you wouldn't want to, like, get back at that or at least, like, hunt the dude down and, like, fix him. Like, that is your family. at the
Like,
end
you
of the
literally
day.
got Leia. You like the motherfucker killed Han. Like when your best friend.
Why is there a
And-
map anyway?
Right.
I'm gonna go hide, but I'm gonna leave a map.
Map, so you
Why
can
is
find-
there a
just in
map?
case you need, just in case you need me, so I can tell you I'm not gonna help you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
And then anyways, like, that is also stupid
Why
anyways.
would you
though.
leave a map?
like,
And, like, why
yeah,
wouldn't
he's
it,
so
like,
mad.
and it's just so stupid, too, because Luke even makes a good point for as little as it is. Like, what did you want Luke to do? Grab his lightsaber and just go hunt down the whole First Order by himself? Like
come on,
that's stupid anyways. Like, like Luke Skywalker by himself was not gonna... You could have had him go after the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't really even, like, kind of, like, do that. They were like, oh, yeah, like, we need you to take out the whole First Order, like, right now, by
Yeah,
yourself.
like, come on.
Could have had
man.
him
That shit
fight.
just-
Like, could have had him fight Snoke. Could have had him fight Kylo. Could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and Snoke, I don't even
Snoke
know.
doesn't do shit but
Like,
sit
what?
down.
He
literally
was
just sits
fake.
there.
He wasn't really the leader. Like, what was that? Like, it just.
Like, and like, something that doesn't even get like so, you know, and then like by the end, like I said, the only other part of the movie that I like is the end when they capture Rey and they're on Snoke's ship, And like
What
the
they
fight.
should have done, which everybody's talked about, is they should have had it like where Kylo Ren becomes good and she becomes
Yes,
tough.
exactly. Yes.
That's what it should have been.
That would've made perfect
that's
sense.
What, that's supposed
I would
to
have
be
rooted for
what's-
Kylo Ren.
Because that's a shout
I'd
back
root
to
for him.
what George Lucas's scripts were. That's a shout back that was supposed to happen in Return of the Jedi. Like that's supposed. There's so many things that within like Legends and Extended Universe that I think the fans could have liked, and then you could have redeemed it all in the third movie. But then they went on this goofy thing with the horse racing and the bad guy, like the bad guy that's supposed to be kind of like Lando in the second movie. I can't think of his name. The guy who's gonna help them and then he betrays them.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Benicio
one that
Del
Finn and them went to go
yeah,
he
get.
had the
Like-
crazy stutter.
Like,
yeah.
but why didn't I thought he was gonna like Lando. He was gonna like see the light. Nope,
Nah,
he didn't.
he
He just
he
didn't.
And then like another thing too, and I always talk about this. I used to talk about Mercedes with this. Is I thought the idea of the Phasma character was so cool to have like a
Yes.
leader of the stormtroopers. She got like the platinum armor, like super imposing. They used like a great actress for it because like she's from Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. Like I loved her, and she gets no work in
Yep.
that second movie. She gets killed by Finn like immediately.
She gets worked.
Like I don't know, and then falls to her death in a fire. Like what? Like the whole second movie, just like nothing felt okay to me. Like I said, the ending scene was cool. Where like, Kylo and Rey, like he's like, join me and we'll do this. And after that, it's just like it's a wrap, man. So
Yeah, that
this
shit-
leads into literally the worst one of the bunch. And Mercedes,
D.
go ahead. Okay.
And all right, so I'm sorry, but Palpatine coming back,
Nah.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
So
Yo, and
he
the
comes
two
back.
funniest lines are right. Are somehow Palpatine returned, and then they fly now. Yes,
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
have flown
How?
since Clone Wars. Stop it.
Yeah, right. I don't know how he
Watch
came
a
back,
movie.
but then they fight. Palpatine and Rey fight. She hears voices of
Nah, man.
the Force ghosts.
Nah,
that
this is literally Star
help
Wars
her.
Endgame.
And she ends up and then she's using Luke's lightsaber and Leia's lightsaber. She deflects it back to him or something like that. I think I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
and
he
she
ends
can,
up
and she can heal wounds. Something.
yeah, and then he dies. And then
And the thing that makes me so mad too is that like what? Go ahead.
no,
say
go
it.
ahead. No, go. I'm gonna say it after. Go
The
ahead.
thing that makes me so mad too is that like the idea of like a Force dyad is such a cool idea. The concept itself is dope.
Yeah.
This is the grandson of Darth Vader. This is the granddaughter of Palpatine. Like that is such a cool thing to do, and they don't bring it up to the third movie. Like it's mentioned, they don't do shit with it till the third movie. Like that is insane because that is such a cool
And
concept.
I don't think she was supposed to be his.
Yeah, like I said,
I
like I said,
think
I
they-
think
they-
she was
they
supposed to
shot
be
the ass.
Obi-Wan,
They just pulled
or
something
just
out
some
their
other
ass.
Yeah, that was
random
last
guy,
minute.
like-
Yeah, they pulled
They
something
didn't
out
think
their
about
ass.
it.
Like that would have been such a cool thing. But like everything about this movie is I don't like the opening, the Palpatine's return thing. Go ahead, say it. You keep giggling, say it.
So the part that really gets me is oh my god, he kisses Rey and he dies, but she comes back to life
Nah, that doesn't.
after she dies,
Kylo Ren disappearing is crazy.
and then he just disappears. It doesn't make sense.
Nah, I know what my least favorite part. No,
How did he learn
That's
how to
my
turn?
least
I forgot my
favorite
least
part.
favorite scene in Star Wars history. Wait, I gotta say it. My least favorite scene in Star Wars history right now is when Princess fucking Leia uses the Force
Yo,
to
And
fly
fly
through
back-
space.
No,
Don't even get me started.
cut the podcast off. No, I'm done.
Yeah, I hate that scene.
That is my no. I'm not gonna lie. That is my
She
least
dies.
favorite Star
She
Wars
dies
scene.
in a vacuum. Like, how
Like,
did she?
Yeah.
Like what? Like how do you use the Force to? First of all, the Force to fly is crazy. And then you're like, you were already dead. You were
That's
in the
what I'm
vacuum of
saying.
space. Like no amount of force is keeping you alive.
Why didn't they just have the character die there? Because the actress had died.
Die.
at this
That's what I'm
point.
saying. Like, what did you keep her alive?
Like,
Hold
what
on.
did you bring her
That
back
would have
with
been
the
more
Force for?
tragic if she
Like,
just died then.
That's and I think to me it'd be more tragic because Kylo Lily doesn't press the button. He decides to not torpedo his
Yeah.
mother, and the other TIE fighter does. To me, that's way more tragic than her sacrificing herself to make him good.
Because then it actually helps develop why he wants to turn back to good.
That's what I'm saying. Oh
Yeah.
man,
that his
I
mother
don't even mean
died.
to go on that tangent, but holy shit, that is my least favorite
Then
Star
you
Wars
have all
scene.
the analogies
ever.
to Anakin and his mother. There's so much you could have done with it, but
Oh
no.
my God, bro.
We're gonna have her Qui-Gon, Quill.
Yeah,
Quill like in Guardians of the Galaxy.
and this fucking god damn it.
Yeah, that shit was. I ain't gonna lie. Like the Palpatine whole narrative. Like, what the fuck did Vader do that
But-
shit
but-
for?
but-
What did Vader
No,
throw
literally.
him over the ledge for? If he was just gonna come back.
And the thing
Like,
that kills me is like that scene is cool. Like when Kylo shows up to like the whatever that planet is, and he walks in, and he's like, "I've been every voice you have you heard in your head," and you hear like Vader's voice, and you hear Snoke's voice. And it's super imposing. You're like, damn, this is gonna be cool as hell. Like, who is this? Palpatine?
Right.
What are you doing here?
Like, what the fuck?
Like, I would have been cool with like another Sith that just was there the whole time. And we never heard about him.
Palpatine
Like,
with
you
red,
know,
Even
with
the
red cloaks
stupid,
on.
even the whole fleet being there. And
Oh
that,
yeah, don't even
like,
get me started. We're talking about that.
doesn't
Yeah, don't even get me
how did-
started.
like last movie had no gas. But these guys have been living there for 30 years.
you got-
It's all men, by the way. So I don't even know what's going on. Like how
How
they
they
have
making
new people. Because there's no women, so they're like.
You got
where-
100
do they have a farm on all of them?
Yeah.
On the are they growing?
Fucking
they got
sperm
cows.
farm.
Nah,
Horses
right.
running around on the side of a ship. Like I mean, like what is going on?
Bro,
This
is
movie.
the whole movie is just so bad. Like, there's
Climbing
no...
into the old Death Star
Oh,
and
dude.
finding a door, like a compartment in the chair.
No, the
Yo,
sword,
like,
the
come
sword
on.
that somehow just magically matched up to the Death Star. Like the sword just magically had the
Bruh.
thing written into it. Like nah.
Nah,
Kylo Ren still didn't beat Rey. Like Rey did not lose. Rey was undefeated.
She literally stabbed him and then saved his life. Like, bro, you gotta pick a side.
Like which one? Like what's going on, man? Like you know what I'm saying? Like Kylo
No, and
Ren
then, like I
again.
said,
Only
I
one I was rooting for in the whole him
Somehow
and Finn. Like,
Han Solo's alive,
Right.
or kind of.
It showed like wait. Who,
Yo, he
wait, is-
fell. He
Force Ghost,
fell
but
down.
No,
What was he?
Why would you use a Han Solo Force Ghost? He don't got the Force.
you don't
could've-
have the
That's
force.
us.
Anakin being there would have made perfect sense. Put Hayden Christensen there, and that would have made way more sense.
Way more sense.
Or
The
Mark
fucking-
Hamill?
Yeah, Mark Hamill would have been the
Or,
smart one too.
or Leia. I mean, Leia. I guess she can
Well,
use the
she's
force.
dead.
She can use the
actress
force.
was dead,
She-
so they couldn't use her.
She can use the force. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
I
man,
don't
I'm not
know.
gonna lie.
I
That
guess.
shit pissed me off so bad.
Like-
Carrie Fisher did so dirty by them making her a sacrifice to save Kylo Ren, and then still killing Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, literally.
And-
And he disappeared, by the way.
And I love the fact that, like, you know, so like, okay, so all this stuff happens. They go to Exegol. They're like, oh, the galaxy going back us. We're good. Like, the galaxy.
You don't
got
know
us.
that though.
But let's say like, so let's go somewhere where they know they got 100+ ships with Death Stars built into them, because I guess that's the thing though. And like just
Let's just hope that they all come. Like
right.
at the
Let's just
exact
hope
moment
they
that we
show
need
up.
them
Right.
to.
And then I
like,
loved it. Like, I'm telling you, that's why I said it's literally Star Wars Endgame, because they're about to lose, and then out of nowhere, the entire
And
galaxy
Lando
just pops
shows
up.
up and-
Nobody hears the ships coming in though.
No, right.
They just
Like,
spawn.
they just spawn there. Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it's
like,
cool. Like, all right, I guess.
And then they win.
And then like, you know, I was expecting Rey to be like an I am Rey Skywalker type shit, because that'd have been like I am Iron Man for her, because that's how she was moving.
Yo.
I'm not even gonna lie.
that shit was just.
Wait,
I ain't
doesn't she
gonna
say
lie,
that?
man.
At the very
And
end,
she
the
says
very- okay, she
that,
says
and
that at the
that,
end,
that's
that's what
a
I
whole
thought.
other thing. But you're
No, you're
not.
not. No, you're
You're
not.
It's like
You're
you're
not.
gonna get arrested for like identity theft.
right?
Yeah, literally, you're
Like,
not.
And then
You're
you just
not.
buries the lightsabers.
Yeah, like what? Like, why would you bury Luke and Leia's lightsaber? Like, that is not
I
doing
am
nothing
not.
for them.
Have I got a lightsaber? I don't care what happened. I'm not burying them on Tatooine.
Right,
Like-
the random sand planet.
Random old lady. What are you doing here?
Say you
What
Ray
is-
Solo.
No
Say-
name.
Say you Ray Solo.
Nah,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Say
Or Ray Organa.
Say you're
you know
Ray,
what I
no
mean?
last name.
Like,
They rushed it.
I'm Ray, no last name.
Or
Like, that's-
fucking, yeah, say you one of them.
I'm
Say
just
you-
disappointment.
It was
Yeah,
a
that
big
movie, and
disappointment.
it's just so funny. Like, nothing about that movie hit for me, and it's just so funny now too. 'Cause,
The
like,
most gratuitous thing in that movie that drives me crazy is the scene where he's like talking to, where Chewie's talking to what's her face, the little animated character, and she gives him a medal because everybody made the joke about Chewie not getting a medal. at the end of
back in the
episode
original
4.
one, right?
Here's
Yeah.
the medal that was on back order. Amazon hadn't delivered it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right.
here's your medal.
You can have this
like,
now, though.
What? Why are we do like? What is that? Like, it just.
Why are you carrying that around?
Nah, man, I am Ray Skywalker, bro. Let's go. Nah, man.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, man, that's just movie don't hit for me. The yellow lightsaber was cool, I guess. That was different. I guess I'll say that, but man, oof, it gets crazy, man.
It gets wicked.
I think our list was right, man. I think for what
Yeah,
we did,
it's
I
pretty
think most
accurate.
people would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, those Disney movies, they don't got much going for them, especially after the second one, but even after the first one, I should say. But
The last one was definitely
yeah, what it is.
Disney.
Scroll up a little bit
They
so
had to
people
do
I
that
have it on
kiss.
screen so they can see the. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
So that's it for our movie tier list. That's it for the podcast today. We went in depth a lot about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Definitely we definitely need a Star Wars episode.
yeah,
Definitely
I think, and this is the kind of like you need a longer episode for something like this, and there's so much to talk about,
Yep.
and we didn't even really get into the TV.
Yeah,
shows,
we didn't get into
so-
the TV shows like the Clone Wars, Rebels, really as much.
That's always something we can come back on another day if we do like another TV show of some sort, like, you know. But I think the movies definitely need to be a deep dive, more of a talking about You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. It was fun to rank them and like actually like hear everybody's opinion because obviously just like me and Mercedes or you by yourself or anything like that, everybody have different opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's cool to actually see like how people feel. And I interact with those guys. Like if you don't like this ranking list or you think that The Rise of Skywalker is the best thing to ever touch Earth, you know what I'm saying? I mean, say it. Say it. I mean,
Explain why.
Tell me why Rogue.
Give me your social security number so I can ruin your life. Like literally ruin your life.
Tell me why Rogue One isn't your favorite Star Wars movie, and then I need the funky digits on your back of your credit card.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like let me ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna wrap it up. You guys have anything to say about our tier list or our opinions of the movies? Let us know. Thank you guys for the support. Mercedes, thank you for coming back.
Shout out Mercedes.
At
At least she
appreciate
showed
y'all.
up. You know what I mean? A lot of people
I'll be
don't
here
show up.
again. Don't worry about it.
But thank you guys for tuning in. We love you all, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Sir.